Yeah, and Tawanta was Siwa, but you are so a pre-election phase. Now, activity in so a number start by a intro. If you say parties singing, especially parliamentary can calculations. No one who say I feel back on we beat me 10,000, we beat me 1,000, we beat me 1. It is a machine better say 5,000 for we become one. Make me a BT vote in Eddie. Into bien brewa back to a dintron, a basin crofo, forgetting say about to register and get dintron when we are about to registration. The zeal, the enthusiasm, a kaya bought in registration, ye mosaka na in exhibition. And so exhibition no na mawu a nipa do no a obase de buy and say ankasa na aka register. A nipa na akotwe free secondary school, university, or timber ate edumba umpesua so no. Say ankasa na ye authenticated list aka register and no yemfa nya adwuma. Ye a near the subu nyina akọbọ electoral commission. Na obi catch me obi ye interview no so electoral commission say exhibition exercise now witness a low turnout. Now so on cover previous data. One fan compare the difference o man. Difference be any. Ya hu ke carry the intro no enwie peye. Ya tro wi ani aga. Ya bodewuro. Ya canvas ya mkrofo modi field mo twe mo ntwe mo din da nyina mo obetro. Ye ne ya provide buses ne transportation di obetro. Ye wie no ya nwoma nkohwe se afia na wotreye no eye IFA and AFIA and as ye ya na afi and as wo picture no kra be medin na wo ho and as ye kra se ya troye no machine ntimi an capture inti de make calculation say nipa 100 na odium bae no so omu nyina adi wo pepepe omu picture na fa pepepe omu spelling ye pepepe eno de afia ye mfanko Iwi ani atiada na yeko wie ne nyina awie ese electoral commission. Ma menka bi ntro. Ya batu mbra no. Se yenye tintim abatu nkrata ne wie a electoral commission ain't me you be edi free. Just a court pay.
Yenye tintim abatu mani wie a.
Yeah, electoral commission need to me. Every say masa kwan na. Enko bi betan atra ne district. Nipa bia wo su obi your party owo. Na ye de makoto se media asemka Bantama constituency. Na me ye PNC ni na me ye district officer na emrada ma me kwan se mitimi yi obi din fu efiade na ebesi nti abato ma sa kwan no impo se ye tro din wie na wo ka kire me se efia kokua qualify so to aba wo Bantama constituency a wontumi nyini mfrim until say obi a file challenge form na ya call district registration review committee enim na ma call prove say ampa minima fia Oni fie du motwe onte ha is certificate ni and san about wo na time yi na free me ka kosi say ya ye nhihye ye se de be ya nipa bi a wo electoral commission entimi sabotage obi o mitimi nyi obi din free enti se ye betumi anya about wo nguma eye authentic a kire me kwabna abrampa mensa my friend me near one carry say teacher we need say abro na free o free mu this is the next I'm pass over free the voter ID card, me and my register. He did woman. The chairman friend my elder brother. No, my country as a teacher, go fuck mama card no. Never could you need free. Yes. And yes, I mean, mammy did be womb. Me offer will free me did be womb. Me I will free me did be womb. O beer did be womb. It's a young coordinate, young collaborate, young support. Electoral committee to you be if the electoral commissioner or one carry out ba me ma me yi bi a onim se me ma me free on to me ni free because
and just say mo dey akọ e che say wawu
free ma me di ko onim ma me number the card number
yeah
ya nhihye ne say me ni wo mienu parties timamufo ye nyina ye ne electoral commissioner and ka bo mo ye nya register ye hwehwe da
I don't party for you now when you know money.
We need just in Korea, we need John Board, we need another say look at it. I only find any party at Tiache. If I say look at you, which make a electoral laws in natural. One name, but I make canon. I mean, say I real, say I refuse, and I am near free home. Exhibition exercise the idea. In fact, this year, me office here say no more, me cordial officers. Omode to your platform so advertise publish aka 10 days so aka 2 days so aka 4 days so me area me to ma ba wo be ya meti wo achimota. In fact me ko be ko na wo mtiti wo no mu da. Obi a ma kra be checking it. Emfa obi a. Ni sana de reti media na mo se akoye hula balloon na yen pese ye be fane tension nti ye be kan say whatever decision on betwa no Matis electoral commission be free IPAC meeting o build the consensus ni ensi gina ye last by no yet eminent committee a o free MPP ni parties ni nyina e hwehwe mu de ye 2 ye e dan ye beto aba December 7 ti yen sort sa de ni yentem na yen to aba.
Okay.
Na media me san ka bio ni say nti de akosu nyina say dia bloati o say di bloati enya ba kokko na ye party for na nkasa mu ni bio mu ye register.
Mahama is not openly, for example, against the National Cathedral. You see, some of his people are also rather saying things that is complicating things. You see, then it gets them divided, right? Look, let's be honest for ourselves. If you look at one of their members of parliament who is hating hard, today Deloitte did the auditing, and the cathedral comes clear in terms of corruption. So why is the same person not talking now? Remember this.
Deloitte and Tush for no more auditing of cathedral.
Yes. And the cathedral is cleared. Now the
corruption
No. I'm saying this on authority. You can even read it, right? Now the question is this: why is the one who was fronting that very same thing supposedly is a Christian? Supposedly, right? Why would the same person now come back to retract? So you see that now you create unity within your front.
I get it.
Now to the point that the chief imam himself gave no less than 5,000 Ghana, 50,000 Ghana to support the project. What is it telling?
Chief imam cross supporting a year person. I remember.
You see, and then anytime there's a crisis, both the Christians and Muslims run to the chief imam. And you know, and indeed, within the Christian front, we don't say they are software Martin but they say that they are not against it. They raise their own issues, but they don't declare that they are against it. Now, to have and some people within the NSC, then MPP has been very strategic here. If there are people within who may not like it, but so long as this is what we are doing to win a certain, because it's about
criticizing.
Yes, it's within.
Which is what NDC should have done.
Yes, you see, because it's a very tricky issue. Tricky in a sense that, well, once we hit it hard, there are a group of Christians who say, now you are hitting something that also represents us. Okay, now that's where the problem lies. I'm being honest.
That's why yesterday said, Dr. Mahmoud Baobia vote, they're going today. Dr. Mahmoud Baobia vote, they're going today. Dr. Mahmoud Baobia vote, they're going today. President John Dramani, so it's a shanty no, but now also the vote. Now it's a shanty now do the chair. No, Bomudia. Every say, no penny president, or buyer. Ashanti region need your owner by the Oyinedi. Oyin Kwabena Dufuwa the Leboa. No a finance minister, Leboa. Oyin Otiajay, Leboa. No a energy minister, Leboa. And I'm Rafi. Oyin Rajana Wajeni. Oyin Dufuwa Jana Wajeni. Why you? Oyin Batimo Ibriswadi, Ofriachea, Gunachea, Roya, Ashanti, the boy did. Why the one Ashanti Muhammad in the year? I had no better catcher as a day on Tier. I had no catcher as a day. And so, but the one in the South is Shanghai, not the whole gun of being a home for the war. Over by and obviously, Ashanti is the flood mode and capitation.
Mama said, on Pew, 8 no, now may catch them, sir. Never Gamania, yet, Kwame told you about. No need panic about Sina Diaka, Ghana, say, oh, 400 about Miaka MPP, Nigana, he. Ghana bese. Kwa fotu hajo mama ikawonyase. Kwa fotu hajo mama ikawonyase.
Abusia for mama good evening ya kwa ba jaso jumedie na ya share ase no na wo na wo ye Ghana for na ye koto aba no, we are the biggest decision makers. Forget their politicians say yeah. I like what the Napoye says here no mum he's now coming into his element. Mokai okoka and kroma tem say the nyina fire no. I'm sure he's gotten some grilling inside. I feel who issues there was or no can and this he's doing the typical campaign in our platform. Now I'll tell you what Mahama so is also saying on campaign platforms about the entire Ujidi say NDC is the choice. I mean, these 60 days to elections. So these are the critical times, sir. NDC or MPP, but more importantly, this is the time that you make your decision. So we'll make your decision here. But there's something very interesting that is going on. And then we have a major question about who is winning. Who is winning? After 60 days, by now we should know who is winning. Forget the post now. Fitch votes then almost say Mahama I think the last time I saw it, almost Mahama was 57 and about Umia was 37. And you know, correct, it cannot be possible because he about to be to Ghana with the exception of President Rawlings back in 92, 96. And you're close. There is no way gap about 20% back between NDC and MPP. So this election is going to be so close. Whoever will win, Sanko second round, that you'll be winning by a small margin. And yet possible, say a 20% difference. And a back between NDC and MPP. Obi a catch that was Master, how their own son, their own political school, be when the analysis cry, the city who obwa. And yet possible, obwa. There is no way in hell or heaven. Ghana Assembly, I mean, now feature force and then we'll say 57 versus 37. It's not possible. About 20% different. Ain't possible. About we know close. At least Nipami vote difference in 500,000 or even less or 100,000 votes. And could do about to say in 2008 the NB. It will be a close election. This election when your election it's a very close election. You see, and the dynamics, no, it doesn't need a rocket scientist, and a serious political analyst beyond what they say. It is going to be a close election because the election way for the first time we have a very historic election. This is the election. This election is between NDC and MPP, and possibly Alan Mantemo because of the move from MPP money at the end and what other dynamics are irrelevant. And yes, it's going to be almost irrelevant to the whole thing. They are die-hard people between NDC and MPP. And that is why demonstrations so don't be fooled. Elections they are so close and specific. Very specific. The chunk of Nipa interested in voting, especially youth, between NDC and MPP. And don't forget, say, NDC and MPP ne kute sikane resources to media campaign. Make sure that they are trying really, don't want try, but the chunk of the resources to be able to go to 275 constituencies and campaign, and easy, sir. And NDC and MPP over the years, so much may prove it, they have the resources to campaign at that level. Now you have two Northerners. Frontline lead candidates in this election, and my election here different. It's all your feet, all your one fear now both bogus research. Experience and look, a lot of the polls between now and election, Bebre are politically motivated. Bebre say MPP for the contracting the panel on your research now, but that's MPP for the winning. Say NDC for the contracting the panel on your research now, but that's NDC for the winning. I very difficult before now. Research about actually say you're close and also pay attention. Forget about those politically motivated polls now for you. Forget it. It is a close election. You have two people moving in other regions on your campaign. It is the same about 17 million, 17.5 million voters. And I got to abandon. Out of 17.5 million, we 10 million youth. Determine who will lead Ghana. The dynamics hasn't really changed, except the fact that now religion is going to play a key role Because once we have Mama ne Baomi omunyina fisire mu no, now we have Baku ye Christo ni President Mama ye Christo ni Baomi ye Kremoni. And so we ye Kremoni leader da. The closest we came to was Liman. Liman was a Christian. President Mama a Christian. And now you have two people, and that's why a historic, you know. Two people omunyina fisire mu contest election. Until now, Christianity and Islam have become a major issue. When you say Ghana, so about person and not religion, the emotions they do. Everybody is so passionate about their religion. Obi oya ZNE, Obi oya Catholic, Obi oya Pentecost, they are all very passionate. Into what they are not Dr. Prempe ba or kana. Or say, this is for homework na Dr. Prempe say more kind no homework na. Now no Mahama quickly. Because over the last 2 years, Muhammad Jai Asafwano Edumana Baumia and Baumia Bohomanity or Bohomanity. Now, but my who said no. Baumia in Cremofono, loyalty within Cremofono, almost supporting because this Omania cried the fact so Cremonia. He is going to make history as the first Islamic or Muslim leader no in Cremofono one side. What I say? In Cremofono. This is but majority of the gramophone about me side, but you can't. Like Christopher does to change gramophone. It's in gramophone about me side, and can you fear? Come on, Mahama. Because majority of Ghanaians know Christopher, but you see, as some Dr. Prempeka and I don't know, so would see any year pan, I'll play it again here. You say, Mahama, Christopher campaign, one key issue, and then I could you talk black one idea. The firm economy idea. This attack on the cathedral, no? A lot of Christians are finding personal say it's an attack on Christopher because yes, mosque no, or Calcudi Johnson, yeah, who NDC and NPP MP so more attack is idea because I can open and can say danger say open to another country. Yeah, him say the support terrorists or support terrorists. Or no, the Nisikari Finukobo, but why am yes, mosque, Obia Mbawa. Christopher and complaining, Muslims and complaining, and yes, mosque of FF, yen I call pictures. But a bad cathedral quad, people are complaining, and I can't show that I say, a bad religion, Sama, Obia Fana Juma. Everybody does their arguments with emotions. And Christopher says, Mama, a bad cathedral, yen Christopher, so Eddie, I have fans, no. I was my you see. And the people who are pushing against the first cathedral NDC for. And to Gabo better NDC. Any Christian community. Meanwhile, also they have Mahama constantly. So it was like, who is advising Mahama? Who? Meanwhile, somebody baby the crown so Mahama same that though. Because some Christian Kramoni are there, Mahama Mianoma. Mahama Tiakonya, they all had very good relationship with Mahama. But Mahama, yes, cathedral, I don't want them. And then Kofwa, and they no man could be a phenomenon. I didn't say Duncan Williams and Amukobo Empire Emma, a friend Mahama. Meanwhile, Duncan Williams is the chairman. Is the chairman of the cathedral committee. It's what happened. That man NDC work at criticizing cathedral, not Duncan Williams on supporting Mahama. It's what the Mahama Queen, I bet them about me also. People like Dambocho and Momo, a presby catechist, I didn't almost meet here so for no. Enti Mahama ni ban ho so na ba onye Winnie Cremofono we Winnie Christopher so account. So now what Mahama is doing with this 61 days here is to win Christopher back, and he's being very strategic. Sami Tina Mahama ne asofo ko ya omobo mpaye no. A very good move. It was a very shenanigan solid move. But the problem you also be Panama that people meaning some aboni do obedi matem. Me atem you obedi me be wadi me that os me anya me de anya hwe ma fa na me kura me nana no anya wo mo anya normal. And also be Panama there if you are die hard NDC supporter, let us say Bedu Kobi, Prophet Nigel Gezi ebe ya. Because Bedu Kobi, any Nigel Gezi have been very loyal and consistent to be also in politics the other say. Politics here the loyalty na here. Politics here the loyalty na here. Enti Bedu Kobi mo omedi Mahama echi very loyal. Just say the way Canada Japan too nani. And see Bedu Kobi no money ade so. And so they were consistent and they still followed Mahama. Now all of a sudden, now a mama also been power. I don't know they get credit. So I don't know Osigne. nobody can be president. I mean, how do you think say Bedu could be named against the mobile fail? And these people must play very their cards very well with this also Bempa issue, because it will backfire. And yeah, because me see Nigel Gacy Bedukobi have been very consistent and loyal. Even against Kennedy, Japan fire crown or Muhammad Yedinechi, and you will follow. Look, that kind of loyalty, and yet easy sounds that kind of loyalty, and yet easy sounds Sabeka. And it's I know also Bempa, I know MPPO, Busa said, and Kasama Baby two on only MPP for no, the uncle paying on the man and got out of the Bompire Mahama. That is why NDC must be very careful. Say also be genuine, 100%. Understand what you use in your campaign, because you also need a goodwill. What I say, if you also get where you are, now so man managino, because onipa or ye come see come sa, kohabra ha, onipa on your consistent, onipa or to me moving from her, because what they have done politics from 1992, obia wa cross carpet and our defective biano, the politics in your consistent. On the politics near consistent on Onipa Chronicles survive it. On our politics, what I say, because every day piano or Bia who say Anthony Pacrono, and now you say, or tell you say to your movie, new players now work on also not sure of the person, so they don't know how to deal with him. It's the NDC crown of the NDC. A lot of the NDC people are not sure of Osu Bempa. They know say Obra Asana Benti. And our cross carpet and waba. It's people like Beduko be Niger winning. I mean, information just said they are all not happy. They are all not happy. Right House Chapel, some Franchanka, they are all not, in fact, the day before, some of them were careful. So they Yamani Maka, but then you're careful how information the man or any of the things that we will say to him. It's Ghana politics, no. We say, oh, we should discuss bread and butter issue. Bread and butter issue, they ain't ready because you call them inflation war. It's you know being about inflation. You didn't say things are hard. What you saying? But there are other issues so informal elections, no. Religion can, tribal issue can, baby, you'll be free. And can you say voter region you know to NDC because your NDC back party if you voter region. Can you say also Ashanti region for you, East region for you now so take and to MPP because. Or we are the founders of MPP now. Majority of them for Ashanti Eastern Bruno. You can see tribal issues they are clear in the politics. Some of the religious issues they are very clear. Usually, Christopher and that's why I'm a Christian. And then the candidates in a Christopher and to say we are from President Kufuor and Atamilsa. Then it will come down to other issues. For instance, between President Kufuor and Atamilsa, it was about media media Ghana media and if you look at 2004, that's why 2004 elections was very tricky because Omumi were Christians, Kufuor Atamils, Omuni the same personality, Omuni calm. And the issue was about being a Kufuor 1 year, and when every Kufuor my MPP for vote so but still President Kufuor had goodwill. It is still won 2004 elections without even stress. 2008 now buy Nanado against Atamos. What the hell? Obia Nanado at the time, 2008. Nanado Obia Minister to Tujagu. All that be dying against Atamos. As I made the Mayashum, gave me some media Atamos won with Abotsel because at the time, Omumi and they were Christians. They were all from the south. And they are running late, no, played a role in terms of getting the northern region votes. They say no, Mahamo Baomia Munif in northern region. And Juma Mahama here this week, and let me play you this video. He's also going to the north because Mahama Tana Crash watch it. Baomia also say northern region. They say all the northern regions no combine. Baomia and Mahama check vote, no. And the Mahama any abre or northern region say no 60 days. Or Guma Monosa Manini Anama Kamu Tamisumi Yemunia. Mon Kam and Amomra. What do you say? Let me play this video to you.
That when we're in government, people feel safe and they are able to go about their business. Unfortunately, since MPP has been in power, it is as if we are living under a curfew. In the night, when you drive on the roads, there are no cars because everybody is afraid of armed robbers. When NDC is in power, you can drive at any time of the night safely. And so, I'm giving a hint to the armed robbers. NDC is coming back. We're going to make our country safe again. We cannot stand the situation where our mothers go to the market and when they're coming back, they've sold their goods, armed robbers stop them, steal their money, collect their mobile phones, and take everything that they have with them. We are going to come and fight armed robbery and make sure that we make Ghana safe again. We need it because if the 24-hour economy policy must work, then we must have safety and security in the country. So we're going to make our roads safe again so that people can go to markets and do whatever they want at whatever time of the day and be able to know that they'll get back home safely without being attacked and killed.
Yeah, this is President Mahama, and I like so far the President Mahama campaign way this year 2024 campaign. What they compare President Mahama campaign or running year 2020, you can see that the NDC team has worked. They have worked. Lapses kakrebi wombe no just always and you can be able to do a critical analysis of where the lapses are, but they can see that the NDC team have really worked. Worked on Mahama's campaign. He campaign was so serious. Very serious. Say, a Juma no mo ye no a bit me akoye. So I like what President and you can see that of rural areas and he's tackling issues on him baby or to see the security. And security obi enim so before I do slem ne buno any ade Tampo road near there one na akrofo na ta koche man wo kwamu no. So he's speaking the issues are and akrofo na be ko am Galamsey mo be relatable. Well, they can be able to relate to the issues. I like what Mahama is doing. He's coming down to the issues. Now, Dr. Prempe can now go back to Dr. Prempe issues. So, for instance, Galamsey, it will play a major issue in elections. And that is why NDC, whether or not they are related to demonstrations, no money related to demonstrations, no. They must support demonstration. Galamsey will be to say, Edu, the crescendo, Edu baby. People are really appalled in Kofobu food and Kofoyam Shishuamo. And I was saying this supporting whatever demonstration against campaign. The more mobile bomb and 60 days, the more they bet me and flip or more decided nothing. Number 2 issue, as you joblessness, a Juma anyhow. But you see, now I'm in your black rasta, so Kai Mahama, dear, be say, my mistake back or yeah, and it's what Tia Konyasono. Also, catching Kofos on your magician will create jobs. I'm on Kofo. I think that and also the MPP also must use it against a President Mahama. Almost go play some of the things that Mahama said. To say Nelson allowance Mahama even if it means me losing the election, they must play those things back. 60 days can they buga for anybody. That is the level that they must go to. This is not the time Obiade needs a nice campaign. This is the time a buga campaign Obiaye. Etimunyina so munya buga. Almost some coffee and also no use against Mahama, be use against the Yonko. Whichever will flip anybody's vote. And only idea Obia Behe. But listen to assemble a year friend saying Dr. Prempex says, okay, anyways, but so China or Japan. This is what he told NDC. Say NDC over the 8 years no, almost failed to take advantage of Nanado. In fact, Brofwa Doc Nankasa used to say Nanado has been stupid in the LGBTQ plus because I say 275 MPs. Representing Ghana for you now say you pay LGBT. Yeah, MPs and ya do market na parliament. When you to aba say you pay LGBT. Nanado say nipa 3 1 2 3 painting Nanado so on sign. I want Dr. President can say this if we use to idea we against a MPP. But they've not been able to market take advantage of the LGBT issue. No. What say about me there because of Ekremonini, he's been able to play the dog and Kasaka.
In winning the heart of look, even those who can be against it, inwardly, this one we wanted. I'm telling you. I mean, you have my captain's man, so I meant to crack more. Yes, and then you disagree, but at least he knows that if I'm a Christian, as Mahama is not openly, for example, against the National Cathedral, you see, some of his people are also rather saying things that is complicating things. You see, then it gets them divided, right? On the other, look, let's be honest for ourselves. If you look at one of their members of parliament who is hating hard, today Deloitte did the auditing, and the cathedral comes clear in terms of corruption. So why is the same person not talking now? Remember this.
Deloitte and Chush for no more auditing on cathedral.
Yes. And the cathedral is cleared. Now the
corruption
no. I'm saying this on authority. You can even read it, right? Now the question is this: why is the one who was fronting that very same thing supposedly is a Christian? Supposedly, right?
Wow.
Why wouldn't the same
I get
person
it.
now come back to retract? So you see that now you create this unity within your fund.
I get it.
Now to the point that the chief imam himself gave no less than 5,000 Ghana, 50,000 Ghana to support the project. So my symbol not to be represented. Okay, in the heart of the city, another one. Okay, so Akufo-Addo has a mark there. Now, where he's losing mark is the LGBT issue, right? Well, for the first time, you have 270 parliamentarians saying that this is what we want, which is the voice of the people. And you claim that, oh, some people have gone to, these are 3 people. Go to Ransom, called 3 people. And I'm sorry, I don't want to preempt the case. That is look, listen, it's a banality of stupidity. I'm sorry on this, okay? Okay, so what happens? That is where Bawumia was going to struggle. And that was where Mahama should have leveraged. So, but he allowed Bawumia to now come clear to say, as for me, my faith. So you see, and that's what Bawumia says, that I was only a mate. You see, he tried to move away. So he will claim the legacy of the good things, but when he knows there's contention, I'm the mate, right? And I'm the chief mate on the issue of the LGBT. So for me, wallahi, alhamdulillah, wallahi, my faith doesn't allow this. I am a Muslim first, my Quran does. And then he said, even the Christian, we all don't allow. So as for me, I'm against it. He's clear on it. But as I'm saying, that should have been the position of Mahama. But again, it's very tricky because, you know, it's an international issue. But at least one person has been bold enough. That's why when Apostle Nyame Church of Pentecost hit us, he said, Akufo-Addo, let them deny you. We, the church, will mobilize resources to support you.
Mahama should have associated with Apostle Nyame Church.
You know what?
So this is what Dr. Prempeh can say about Mahama Mahama take advantage. When taking advantage, Dr. Bawumia eating into the Christian voter population, which in Kawaya Mahama World Bank, because on the Assemblies of God in or you have the crowns or Assemblies of God. In Mahama, the World Bank any Christian community, but Wama Bawumia Bawumu. Emma Pentecost why Adiana Bawumia Royal House Chapel so for being so Mahama banning bomb and so they be Bawumia. That is what Mahama should have been doing. And none of Dr. Prempeh said, this attack on the cathedral and Mahama Muluzu votes in Christian community because Christopher ni bia organ dance so chess away a non-denominational Christopher symbol. Any more idea a Christopher bomb we be. Cote d'Ivoire for more cathedral, ye Cote d'Ivoire for some Changana for. And this argument, so your hospital, yes, will be our hospital, but they be no. Yeah, President Rollins CC a NASA theater. In fact, report if you read a historical in Nkrumah AC Akosomo Dam, there were people say, oh, you go to hospital. I didn't know Nkrumah AC Akosomo Dam, but 50-something years Akosomo Dam. In fact, Nkrumah motorway, people attack the Nkrumah side and Oye motorway, and then motorway no can expire because the lifespan is 50 years, 50 years, and so the motorway is serving us. And to say, yeah, they say the poor will always be with us. The hurt and the hungry will always be with us. Dear Dr. Prempeh, boys now here food soldiers now. I told them I'm not sure I'm funny and serious. Munya butre instead of it and I omu did not. This is a research on Ghana approach. Abrafo be fan of Japan so coach radio. Why had the research Mamo Futo said this is an advantage. After 61 days, you can eat into the Christian voter population. Take your vote because you want to win. Nobody goes into an election and play. Election winning. And also for say this attack on cathedral, because a lot of Christians are person, which is why Apostle Nyame say, the churches will contribute and see. Duncan Williams only at the end of Pamabako. They were all on the cathedral committee. The Christians took it personal. Almost said this is something that best symbolize it. Almost send Cremofo and then Cremofo see almost. Sikani Frigana and Frigana, nobody coughed. Obian complaining that. Obian Casada and Yakwaji Howosika. What is the purpose of a mosque no mobesino? Agenda Boniana. What do they want to achieve? Nobody raised an issue. But Christopher the Omu raised issue. This is the issue that Dr. Prempeh is and Dr. Prempeh is Zongoni. What's now? He was born in a Zongo, raised in a Zongo, he lived all his life in a Zongo. What's it? His argument is that in Kremofone Beto, I'm a Bawumia. And Bawumia be saying extra vote from Christians, except some die-hard Christians, be said, and I know not Williams banner or Cassette. What is any papa and Crawford Casa or phone so they were concerned about Christonia, Cremonia, obedi Christopher, because whether you like it or not, a lot of Christians who they will tell you, say, Christopher Dawson, in Cremoni. So, me say about religion, young fire think as well. Ghana for the passion, the casa, yeah, the emotion, the casa. America, baby, I will be in Ghana. I broach it, and comfort, me or your Christo or supported Trump. Who was raise your supported Trump and be a religion here. Meanwhile, Trump not on yet. Bibi and just or your Christo ni map about religion into a supported Trump. And that's what I'm telling you about religion. And Sema, men find say 1 + 1 = 2, and yet 2. People don't think rationally with religious issues. And it's NDC MPP, the religion is diagram. And Baumia no one. I think NDC must even be fearful of Baumia. Yeah, one of the persons who is worrying Baumia campaign and Nanado. Say Nanado and Baumia Ganema Bebeko Yaman. I think even Christ and MPP before opposition they say. And Nanado near Bamuna Baumia and Mahama contest and Baumia will be safer because seriously. And Yama Bebe Kotia Baumia and Nanado can or Kananu Tuma. And Kanyama Bebe because Baumia at least to some extent. What they not comparing Mahama only one Mahama showdown. Mahama Swama Baumia showdown. Because as a party in power, and you showdown a Mahama Diama Baumia campaign Baumia also opposition or your campaign. They want children the papa because Nanado mess no is affecting Baumia. Galamsey can inflation, jobs and Nanado so be creative, corruption. You see, Nano a branch has bigger quest money. They see. I am not a politics no beyond or rational or politics more. And you are not irrationality no the beginning for better aba. And one say kuma would phone baby selfish. Almost a car Mahama Diamo Muntin on better more. But food soldiers think now you're selfish. Sikani t-shirt on Beginton almost to aba. It's a car technically yourself. In fact, politicians they are about to acquire selfish. Because in yes, you come Benya, I'm going to about one. Campaign baby mom go as a gun and one who don't see. And can't before by even when they told us say. Nanado, okay, inaugural speech, no me wahan kame boy. Nanado inaugural speech, or say I shall. See a bravo you to I shall. And yes, I will just obey, try the best. I shall just by force, mandatory. Obey Busanwo and there's an Nanado protected public person. And now baby a public debt in them. 761 billion Ghana cedis. Ghana a kaya dear no. Meanwhile, this is the time in Ghana. Your gold block costs than any other time. Ghana, they say your gold price is high. And if you cotton gold and Kenya scapa, this is the time in Ghana ni Cote d'Ivoire arrangement. You influence world market price of cocoa. And so any your cocoa no good because Nanado has failed to deal with Galamsey. And to cocoa, Kromikromo amansani adanse. Ye cha cocoa afogu and ye to Galamsey. Nina Nanado say me yanka. Anything can yes a mistake way and jobs. In fact, Nanado concept of 1D 1F no. Every day be am say yo, e ma ba was offer. Ba me also be was offer. Anya 1D 1F. And no they too ambitious. Yeah, 1D, 1 factory, 1 region, 16 regions. Yeah, major factory wo 16 factories depend out here. Start with that. Major factories, na create jobs. Because jobs now Nanado when creating. It can be Nama Galamsey na jin semo ye energy because see there's something that is influencing the Galamsey. Everybody and you can say nipa no onya onim so okwa okowu onim se sign at home in fact takwa aboso emranti e wo no fa when your kidney problem any cancer no mu every week young men are dying in takwa aboso young men keshe omo friend keshe Galamsey no people are dying because everybody want to obekwa in fact so for what Ghana e fa ye Galamsey Oba mukonya money Mahama people money ma so mo bebre ya Galamsey so for ni be ya Galamsey that's how much now yes as omo ya Galamsey because collection ma COVID the buy energy no collection ma enti the ombe ya ni say the ombe den omo so betimi the omo wa she Galamsey no omo de aye onya excavated bi na the high Galamsey for no omo ye bi we must be very careful about this election enye anxious sir enye straightforward sir enti elections when you see obi as a feature one economic one ombe catch yourself elections way 37% for Baumia, 57 for Mahama Mobwa. This election difference bebe mu 0.11 2% per a close election. There's no way in hell or heaven. Our election way a 20% difference there be. Either say back a second round and the winning by a slim majority. Parliament is only one of the areas I also MPP for home. Parliament. Because MPP the Amuya Cynthia Morrison, Central Region, Cynthia Morrison is independent too. Cynthia Morrison is going as independent. And tomorrow here MPP for 137 but it will be very good if MPP will win and lose majority in Parliament. That would be nice. Because you better tell them squeezing and buy balls. Whatever they do. Say this is who we near. Then my prayer is that MPP should also get majority in Parliament. If they get majority in Parliament, I'm going to make squeezy NDC 4 balls as the government of the day. Because whatever happens, the next Parliament will see a year's grass fuel. Young men, young women, nobody is even pushing their mind to the fact that health gracia is an issue. Because now I'm going to many so to force you. Or 1 year's gracia. Osumante on GS gracia. Now on GS gracia. The people who are chopping S gracia and NDC MPP for no. Commissioner, electoral commission for GS gracia and BU. NPC for Munina GS gracia and BU. NT share on a near money year. Obiabano, they are still collecting it. Omo Bekwe, this MPP 1 piece in your mind already. I start to calculate as gacha. Check now for. But we are all not the LGBT issue. You find the same name called as gacha. So, it's in the next Parliament. We must push that Parliament to make sure that you pay as gacha nephew to save Ghana money. So we can do so much to create jobs. Because you are creating jobs from Galamsey in the hair, Obiaba into me. And look at the politics of what Galamsey here. This is about a beje, Nano Professor Nano Pokwa. I was even disappointed in her. Said, Madam, men for Kabio, Galamsey assembly now live with the Jama party for soldiers. Also, they will never stop ban Galamsey. Because again, as long as it's illegal, managing it, scrutinizing it is a problem. Scrutinizing it is a problem. How would you manage it? MPP forcing a Galamsey management here okay. And the NDC so money, MPP so money. And where are we heading to? Meanwhile, I see the area demonstration says stop Galamsey. No, how can we demand stop Galamsey when the two major parties are all saying say, they will not ban it? There were serious questions to ask these politicians, but you demanded all those answers from them. The mini Abema Dr. Solomon, you also. Any Jacob interview OKFM UTV. But let me play this thing that Mahama said again. I think that Mahama campaign message, any issues now all raising on the floor. No, very, very interesting and it's worth repeating. Let me play it. But before that, I bought Napo the intro. Homework no moya wa Napo no. I think is working. Homework no moya wa Napo no. It is working. Chris Dodgers was say if your posterity will judge you, may posterity will judge me that Mimi here you munio apuda. Me my age over 20 years when you know who needs to crowd the beja uma. Mudia kwasia sem kwa politics inti. Kwasia message bi ana mo sende. Me wana me stress me. Posterity a judge me dada. Me okay crab but you know dia ho.
E ja ken le na here pa na jubilee. Na vote e kwa ni dai. Dr. Mahmoud Baobiabo, the boy and I. Dr. Mahmoud Baobiabo, the boy and I. President Dramani, so it's a shattered here. No, but now also the vote. Now it's a shattered. Now do the chair. No, Bomudia. Every day, on the president, or buyer, a shattered in India, or not by the Oyin. Oh, you come down before the Lebois. No, a finance minister, the boy. Oh, you're the boy. No, your energy minister, the boy. And I'm Rafi. Oh, you don't know what you're doing. Oh, you don't do what you're doing. Why you? Oh, you better know if you ready. Oh, for a chair, I'm going to chair. No, I shall do it in the boy. Why the one shall do your job? How many years do I? I had to make a catcher a day on TV. I had to catch a day. And so, but the one in the South is shot by not the whole gun of being a home for the one. Over by
And obviously, my shanty is the front mood and capitation.
Mama said, Ompeo, 8 no, na me catch them say, Inye me gamenya bielo, ye bielo, ye kwami tojoba. No ni pedi kaba shine diake, Ghana ya se ye. O for to hand Dr. Bawumia MPP, ni Ghana ye. Ghana bese. Kwa for to hand your mama, ikawonya se. Kwa for to hand your mama, ikawonya se. Eja ke lena na here para Jubilee House. Ne tone yako. Enako bejen. Enako no be Jubilee House. Shinoni pedi wa ba ke eleji. Esumo wa ba pe ki yete.
Ya ba na ye. Momi asan kosie. Ye rere sie mu ni enkoye adwuma. Adwuma di da ye ni. Na adwuma di susu kwa. Na wo.
And this is MPP and Americano. This is actual campaigner. You homework no more on a phone. One send a casa nasa. He's matured. We won't say you're selecting assembly here. He's now speaking to the issue. So I like assembly. This is typical politicians commentary. Omudu campaign platforms or omoye. And Obi big ups and come Obi to say how I come see. Mamino has been consistent. Nini ane ba omi. Nini answer ma hama. In fact, Ushi how in the Bruce no many idea. Omunuane how I come see. Confirm bebe nim say how I come see enough. Of enough. How I ain't in any di come see no. Enti how na Bruce no many idea. Your mu na mo friend Imma. Into another campaign, that is why I'm telling you, sir, religion, any tribe is playing a key role in elections. Just how I come see about my campaign in World Bank. And yet, walk up, I find a walk up free, center, be on about me. This is religion, a holy free. Now, let me take you to President Mahama.
That when we're in government, people feel safe and they're able to go about their business. Unfortunately, since MPP has been in power, it is as if we are living under a curfew. In the night, when you drive on the roads, there are no cars because everybody is afraid of armed robbers. When NDC is in power, you can drive at any time of the night safely. And so, I'm giving a hint to the armed robbers. NDC is coming back. We're going to make our country safe again. We cannot stand the situation where our mothers go to the market and when they're coming back, they've sold their goods. Armed robbers stop them, steal their money, collect their mobile phones, and take everything that they have with them. We are going to come and fight armed robbery and make sure that we make Ghana safe again. We need it because if the 24-hour economy policy must work, then we must have safety and security in the country. So we're going to make our roads safe again so that people can go to markets and do whatever they want at whatever time of the day and be able to know that they will get back home safely without being attacked and killed.
And this is also a President Mahama, so the campaign, I like the President Mahama, so he's fitting in, going back to 24-hour economy, and relating it to issue, everyone wants a 24-hour economy relevant. Because over the years, for starting so the 24-hour economy, not in bank, and share and relatable. And by any saying, and I be musing coconut and kete, a bumusi a better watch it, a bumusi I shall 24-hour, and the MPP for no mere propaganda against NDC. And there is also allowed, and we do a year politics now. Who opponent there, and you man so best sell campaign. And it's all MPP near all your campaign, Tia Mahama. No, normal. Man, I don't go for the items. I want to game, nothing that. Yeah, normal. And before normal propaganda, no matter that, and I have show 24. My status here about show 24 hours. And what I said, Mamma go say Mamma to Tama, any show for it here. How about it? I show me the 24-hour job. And I am before no me propaganda against a Mahama. But this is what he's trying to say, sir. I'm improving security. So that the 24-hour economy no more running a valid. Because it's a 24-hour economy in Ukraine to be national. Areas like Temahabo, Temakrom, what I say, areas like Accra, Chrome Circle. Security do my door. And now we have more crown because you know you are secured. So Mama is speaking the language of the people. I'm going to for a 24 mammy, so I know how a 24 nama. Almost breath, almost Kofaniama, almost shows and Kofoba attack you more. So Mama is speaking their language. But back to question I'm raising, I say 60-61 days to election. who do you think is winning? One kasa wo hwe. Who do you think? And what are the issues I will say about reflecting on elections? Nana ya sorry, some of us who appear what do more camera into also ana me do account nana ni mako person okade okasa dia no atena se na ye professional. So at say yes say I very serious quite clear so abroche baby and internet technology into baby and number my young what you think. But again, we are party for soldier. One of the things I also do what cause ya sema CDD programs manager era Abraham Pamesa can you know say party for no ankasa na vote ni gum. Every had a party for no for margin gusu. Ye trodi anamu nya giri this na ye trodi in kofo kokonto kwa ho. Ye tro here. Who is monitoring? Are you helping your party to monitor? And Kolana ye do omudi akogum no boa. We NDC ni awu complaining say nkofo di wuma. Any so omudi woman. Are you helping NDC and the electoral commission say ube file protest? Ube follow up with the protest. Ye be yi say di na guma na. And you say you didn't fruma edu abato no be abe kwakoto agum. NDC and NPP mo na mo ye guilty of vote buying, basing of voters. Me say election won be san basing ko for the omako. Enkwala ni nom de ombeko. Ombeko omatro mu din dada. Nti mo yi din na free mo a they will all come and vote. No. Now I'm starting through one if you have decided and what issues you have decided on. Nana mama good evening ni akwaba.
Sister Fiara, good evening. What do you
mean? It is 61 days to elections. Who do you think is ahead?
Sister Fia, it's still very close, neck to neck, you know, and there are still some things to overcome, you know, on both sides. But I'll speak for your side now. I think so we've recovered ground significantly. We still have to work on internal party.
More recover the time. More MPP for now.
Yeah.
Because I'm more saying all is not well.
It's a difficult election. Say they can't say, hey, we need to be no car somebody on where we need 1 year ago. I feel they are not sure where they stand. Yeah, we know that we need to work hard, and then we need to really make sure we can get our base to come out. And you know, from the very onset, you know, we know so we have to do a lot of work. And I'm glad, sir. So I told you before, sir, in this campaign, you see a lot of unconventional things from the MPP side. And maybe you've seen some of those, right? Where our flag bearer is campaigning even in the rain and going to.
I don't want to know. I said, "I'm coming incumbent now. You see incumbency advantage now." Said about me, I'm going to campaign was you, Monsieur Tony. Now to me say, papa.
Yeah, but say a whole battery now than say a whole battery on the day of that. Oh, damn it, and you know, we are very clear in our minds. I mean, as humanity, we have to do it, and then we have to be on the ground. We have to do the retail campaigning, and then we have to campaign like never before. And I think, sir, precisely based on the script, you know, and the results we are seeing, we are very happy where we are. Else, our campaign cycle, you know, there are some other major risks out there that we need to deal with, but I'm very much hopeful, sir, we will still overcome it and make us make sure, sir. Because of that, you know, Friends of Baumia, like I told you, we are also making our final push, doing our final integration to still go and support resources and make sure that we can get to the place next year. You get it, Into Saturday, October 12th, launch Friends of Baumia fundraising in the US here, and therefore.
Campaign is almost done. I think I'm launching fundraising for Friends of Baumia.
You see a campaign, you call out, we need people to go out there into the campaign. There's a lot to it, right? There's logistics, there's resources that you need to push down there to be able to help other people do other things. Even 2 days to election, we still need money because we need police station officers, right? We need people to go out there. And I mean, so I don't know, we are still within time to be.
Okay, what they also you're close. There's no clear winner as we speak, and there's 60 days to election. There's no clear winner.
As of now, say it's neck to neck. You're afraid of the margin of error, right? Once you do a poll and there's a margin of error, you cannot stick your neck out. If that margin of error not continue to either party, you cannot stick your neck out that way. And, unless you are clearly above the margin of error, then that's when you can begin to see, say, then there's no noise in the data. The data is actually being deterministic at that point, leading into something. And can you say, Yang as MPP for the year? Remember, say, before I was starting with early polls, reports even that were reported by credible stations like OKF and who station RTC. We were far below, we were far down there. Then this was yes. So we knew, sir, once our candidates step in and start doing the job, we'll recover grounds. In so we are very much excited about the and the campaign cycle.
Okay.
Because we knew we're coming from behind, because we've recovered grounds. But there's still more work we have to do. And so as part of the campaign structure, Dr. Dichum is also being deployed strategically in a different way. What the B24 group, right? So
I know you said by Dr. Dichum.
Dr. Dichum, yes. And there's more work I hear on the grounds. I mean, if you say, baby, I want the cycle, you'll be cycling cycle. We are very much comfortable where we are, and we think that if we put in that extra effort, and my only concern is how we can pull our base to come out, because our base will be very critical for us in this election. No two ways about that. See, a base, I need more energized to come out. Sister Fia, a bit in and so I share. So now, say we want to work on we are something within the some of the things we started doing that, and gradually we are.
And a strategy to move base now Ashanti region to energize them.
Of course, we need the Ashanti region badly. We cannot do without the Ashanti region vote. If we play with Ashanti region votes, it's a failure. And that is very critical for us. It's part of the big pillars in our strategy, and I think that we are on course to doing that. And I like the fact that the running mate was there. And I'll just say, so Wachi was leading the efforts there, and to me, he's been leading some good efforts there. But I believe that 60 days in the beginning, now you're based, now you're critical. Election, independent for tomorrow. Base ones can help. You even need them more because they always have a reason to go and vote. They always have a reason to go and vote because of emotional attachment, historical attachment.
Take and some because this issue about Galamsey, Juma anyone because more promises and fix unemployment, to me fix it. Unemployment also can on a Galamsey, and the way I'm not any pushy Galamsey issues, or more pushy a Juma anyone, or more pushy corruption. These are all issues that more MPP for so, and these are going to be the issues and for the taking decision on elections. So how would you deal with that? Because I do think you are winning or you are losing because Galamsey no, Juma no, any other. How are you going to manage it with 60 days? Okay,
I think those are still, areas that we'll have to, think about, right? In terms of handling it properly, because the Galamsey issue, my question, and then they said, we saw it in the era of Mahama, Yarga, and Inis Afisini, and all the things that they tried to do. It didn't work out. Yes, we've done a lot of things. To the extent at some point, even we were saying shoot and kill. And some people in this country told us shoot and kill. We played ostrich with that. We can't do shoot and kill. We can't BBA Draconia, BI said the bar, all these things, even to the extent that he was putting his presidency on the line. And we say all of this have not really given us the needed result. We still have our waters polluted. We still have the outcome is there. And, it's a collective thing. I think, the best solution would be to have both political parties, big parties, sign an accord on saying that they will not politicize the issue of Galamsey. And then we all have one voice saying, regardless of who wins, this is what we are going to do to deal with the Galamsey issue because it's not an existential threat, basically. And TUC and all these organized labor are beginning to see, if we don't take a drastic approach, we'll find ourselves in some very difficult place. So regardless of who wins the next election, I think it's an opportune time for organized labor to really bring these two political parties together and let them sign an accord about specific things that they are all going to say on their campaign platform, so that it's a guarantee that regardless of who wins the election, those things will be pursued. Okay. Otherwise, if we leave it, now people are trying to take political advantage. You run into this stalemate, and there will be no solution. And so we said, you only 2 months here, and Obidiba resolve the Galamsey issue. That's the reality.
Galamsey 2 months here,
but that's what I'm saying. Intellectuals. Let's all analyze the issue. Do you think that in the next 2 months we can resolve all the Galamsey issues? We can't. That is the reality. The Galamsey issue will take us another 2-3 years to be able to resolve fully. And but it has to start from somewhere. The reality it's an issue, and organized labor must take advantage of only opportunity to be able to force these two political parties to sing from the same tune and not to have political parties counteract each other because of votes and then create incentive for each other. We understand, we'll get no solution. There will be
I think the honor them, say organized labor and TUC or maybe civil society banner a sign and our peace council say Obian party be and Galamsey in politics. I think that because the politicization of it also counts into me. and solving them.
Yeah, that emboldens the criminals out there to have space to operate on the amateur. And I will not dismiss the impact of it and the effect, but like realistically, Obia will share, or if you are serious about solving the problem, do you think, say, 2 months, if there was any measures that will put in place, that will stop, that will return our waters to what levels we are looking at? That would take some time. If you are that's a big thing. But like I said, no one say the implicit counteractive effect, because this Galamsey area is based on information may pick it from Minerals Commission for paying for. I think he went to meet, it wasn't the Public Account Committee, some committee of Parliament. And we share the numbers that these people employ. Now we share in Seminole Canal. It makes me feel like some people are benefiting from this thing. Power. People are making money there.
When I time to now, a Minerals Commission for anything, the MA license no be any. Because it's another thing. But I mean, I said, I just say, more friends of Baumia, I must say about one, and your clear cut is you're close, but you're clear. That was your position, you were.
The final push. If you're with me, 1 minute, I will fire. Final friends of Baumia USA. Your final push now, you can. About October 12th, yeah. Into what will USA Habiana who believe in the modern vision of His Excellency, the Vice President, Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia. Now, what's not betray? What we send the USA call? Now, we need send the USA. Now, we need send some more cano. And no never boy a Dutch. Yeah, sure, a Dutch in the future. Babeka, now, before contribution boy. Now, intimate found shop upon a night.
Now, announcement, okay, if any announcement, now, over Hannah, over a fans. Radio stations also announcement when I didn't editor utilities. Ensuring can moment advert, mama. Moment advert, my opening guys over up here. Mama, good evening, our father.
Sister Fiona, where you may concern.
I said, I will continue. I anytime I brought you for your day,
me too, me hunting. So we are
but you were on the screen. In the end, I also distracted from Nipana on what and so I walk as an hand.
Wait a minute, me cry.
Say, I don't see any idea. I will be near call society. Over for 7 days back from now, we know privacy now. Yeah, the way and all.
What?
Of any part, we only know 60 days, 61 days to elections.
And no poquay, Chiamo.
Yeah, just open.
Senior Mr. Daniel Ekan, FOB USA. Many founder and chairman of FOB USA.
Founder of Friends of Baumia USA, no.
And
now I'm trying to campaign. I'm here.
Echo. And I just say, and I more can say, and yeah, easy. There's nothing easy. A dear no one for 1 ampere, no one with your base, number one. Base, they are important because the base no one to me and push you on, and as I went to me, I'm more money enthusiastically. He said, oh, you better open piano, your bubble modiato, and I'm so make a tour. My family near Kojo, I can one, I'm a can, near Quacotua, and ye. I know dear, lesson piano. Especially Ghana, crown, a close, a higher crab, which I had the crown, a baby, a very thin, a margin.
Did I just also disagree with post nearby and say 52, maybe 57 against them about me at 36? Who disagree with them?
Well, you bet me I can't say you were 52 and 52% to so and so. But
you see, I'm happy before 52.
As I'm kind of maker. We always play, it's better to play underdog.
Oh, okay.
And push yourself up.
Okay.
It is a war school now, there be a now defense nearly. And if you relax, when you're complacent, or you're complacent, you can't move forward.
Mm-hmm.
You always put the bar up and then keep on pushing yourself until you get there.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, Jumani dear, I was say, Metesa Ubusa dance, and Ponsan say, and FOB, and their friend Amoya, you go so a Jumanka crack. Now, when I friend found our push, I was here to me a bomb modern natures underground work, no, no Ghana, no. to me boa na to me keka ya ho because emre na
Etina
aka
me gusa sa wo hwa mo betimi awini anaba o mi ade because
Yeah,
it's a
baby.
Christopher no na asofo na akọbọ mpa ya mama no so technically o ma endorse Mahama no so
asofo na seba umi anso
Ghana
asofo
for
no
so
bia
Christopher no so do so chen kremofo eni se kremofo no class o mu nyina beto ama ba o mi which enya possible so o mu nyina beto ama ba o mi ade
na me say sa asofo no bi so abompa ya ma ba umi anamboa
no to ye true
aha enti no so asofo bi say ono abo ama obi a nyankopon de otie na otie na nyame na hihye niema asofo de obey ne de ne fam
and
de
what assessment mu no who is winning
ye be win
mo MPP mbe winning
ye be win
na parliament so
parliament no sa independence no amobba mu no eno na ehame so atiase here but nevertheless see to me a convince base and say look also they mind independent here who to go am opponent because you can't rely on the independent no babua na omotimi age di no abayani enti yesremo a ye be ye na okan no October 12 ya ye fundraising apushi say ne be ya
the sense can ebe bo ba o mi a Ghana na aka 60 days election
yeah the bagana
amu the sense can mo beto t-shirt aguma na mo beto vote na mo musika na mo de beto wi na mo boys because na ya se mo kwa so mo na mo potu ya 200 Ghana wi no
we don't believe in such things okay obaboa oboa no kwampaso so atiase oboa no kwampaso oba we be a memfan say t-shirt and say nkola okay mo entoduane ni mo mienko bobo apunum e na mana no mienko cheche nse mo nchire wo mo say hey suku free free SHS HSS was SHS so first name ni senka aban ba ye na Ministry of Education o mo de ankata bia ye makwan a ye de bill no e ma nkola no no de bafia anka ye ma me no ne ye papa no no wo ma hu mfaso a e wo so sese no aye tetre obi afi se ne ba bia kobi so atiase
okay yo obeni ma me na ati na just sika no mo de be door to door campaign door to door okay yo it was 12 October omo nko ye door to door na mo metua na nya advert ma mo okay FM why na nya mo be free we mo nya kwa ya announcement me no free mo entua announcement ba ko mo nim ne bo 2.5 or 3 million mo metua na mo ye nya ma mo dollar ne bebre obeni ni ma ma ngudi bi akwa ba
good evening Stefia na what to say
Adumara kwa mpacho ma mi sha also there 61 days to election one now give this LED.
Oh, say the meaning say Baumia LED marginally. Baumia LED marginally. The entire become marginally now because of a Bia Alan Shamatin and Shada or more votes on Benyano Ashanti region. And to say yes, I so easy. Because Osha campaign I mean starting free the last year comment I'll make here about a soften on my bomb pie Mahama no. Mesa Otabel. So what you know was say Nyankopon NC and choose president, especially in our part of the world.
If you ask baby Anka Nyankopon choose president. Now what to choose out Nyankopon.
Because what says I can be saying Nyankopon question. So Nyankopon choose president and more Africa. I can be saying Nyankopon questions. But we share campaign one. Also NPP a campaign to say or more opposition because of COVID-19. Also from 2017 to 2020, everything was perfect. BBR call according to a plan. May start time no Emra a friend say Mr. Alan and then Nana Ado or more contestant na me or Alan's side because let me feel say Mahama say yari don't penny nami namanaka don't pay. Into another bar first time no unya sika enya hwe. And I'm sure let me feel an age in security on to be second term. But by within the first time no, and near all a year ne vision no war, and I said ne be planning or implementing within the first year no.
And another asem na okay.
Na me ha make sure no e koye ma omna enti second term no na niema agye gu kakra who can be busy employment yeah omo anya de oho omo ya de pa but wo hwe senia enipa be bre akọ school bi mo wie SSS a omo ntimi nto aso nko uni omo nyina abeka workforce no ho enti nipa be bre na epa adwuma enu ti na unemployment no I can say while US are one and I say UK unemployment still unemployment into government be anywhere will be to me as solve unemployment issue totally but we campaign or senior nana baumia or machiche omumu na omu nyina pushy forward no they are omu company as if say omu opposition.
Some Mahama campaign seriously. Why am I campaign here?
Mahama campaign, Mahama campaigner, baby be brewa, I attempt the on issues.
Oh, Mahama Kata the on the atem. The boys in be on the atem. Mahama no one would do the atem.
Oh no, or to me the attempt in a way.
That's why you casa quiet atem the only at me who know Mahama because that's not just him. That's not him. Me Mahama di atem that.
So what the attempt?
People kutia that money na mo people kutia yeah, by atem the actually kutia na so atem the on the atem.
Kutia na make ha ne campaign ni bebre akutia. For instance, I say on the time na arm robbers any crime so the obo na year born the campaign boy you know. The time MDC time na a friend say na arm robbers any ho. Enti ye buy MPP buy na arm robbers aba. But Osha and you know crack. Now the only a year Mahun said because of said the Osika and Anado a beer manful worth funo because we will nipa me no beer only MPP for only have enough for back a police officer, senior police officer, back and so and yet a honestly or him. They don't want me to mention NPP. My trial back there la me back Ghana on the my left a coffee. Okashi am say me bo MPP so a drop me o baby a ye drew no. I'm after taxi ako.
That is am part the dog kan and ko bo fu MPP for
yes. In fact, my sending messages ako by my platform so say on trial say obe diffuse bibi biara abufu biara sha manfo mu.
Okay.
I'm for a big wolf pa, but a bim so high. Me call Ghana, Crofo Brewa, me to be and a convenient Mukasa, more etias here. Me share me ma not Baobian for the police is my idea, but none near my Baomiano. Me dear no me de extra man for say Ghana a development, say Baomia bar or better so. For instance,
it's a way in what I said Dr. Prepe can say Christopher be cry LGBT at me because President Peso be signed to the president who before better MPP.
Oh,
still MPP.
Said about I know the Baumia be say oba or sign or say on J LBT I'm making the plan I'm making the plan I'm will be at say he doesn't support LGBT. Oh no, he is against them. He is for the what's it called? The law. Obey signing to law. But the way our campaigners, our campaign with and they may be hard. Yeah, me feel say and say and can mechanic campaign team no one. And remember na abomu a say because I say well repeating the same thing. Yes, it's good, but as so to me, I can't. And never be brave, never be how or jatun, but go do a deal of Johnny money between, or do a be no can be but me who said a campaign or yet to say only government anymore.
Okay.
There's no complacency.
Okay.
And there no and a man no chance. And your first we say Galamsey no okay Galamsey no 2011 President Atamios, Nyamifani Krensie, Onukra and Kimian Fighting Galamsey, or Meki mention say Galamsey say Ganis you far back in 2011. I used to buy Muhammad buy, they couldn't fight it. Oh, but then Mama say media and I say the Ghanaian citizen they no move free and near be because on one casa the committee on tea I mama Yarigo so whoever
Mama Yarigo at the time yeah
a man and to say they couldn't fight it and 2 months okay and this if what try say raising that issue against the government meanwhile no government no 2020 I fight Galamsey no one man is sending nipa call Galamsey site a coin site you almost say and I say Korea show almost say omoba party omoba mo masaba site about Beyeduma okay and obi fighting in one breath then another a party so where potential to come into government I say moba yeba ebejai ebe mo Beyeduma enti usha why na kemeto amano because Ghana for no be brave selfish about 80% air selfish dream development obi oha ne marco SSS wa benefit pa but I hope check akra wa community no sa ho check kakra no akomu no eno na wo hwe de akwa wo hwe a policy side wo hwe se Mahama ba obetwa SSS no Mahama so ba differently no
on cast obetwa Mahama ba so oba onche
real on car but obi etne ye no suban ne kasa was it called 2 billion na and confirm enko share education free searches and no ma who say oba on to me even the time
landi because like I said
Mahama time no shock kra no na ho den school aduane kra no na ho den ema north no anu me free sh more free school no bebre na kokotre fie meanwhile no also sign kasa against feeding a boarding house say a school mu ye ko school na sister fie na school no menim say girls school na call ya me school am call me call form 1 na yes demonstration as a school ho near bebre because of aduane meanwhile na you fees oh no say say school be a demonstration be no and yet something else demonstration
it will interest you to know that some schools need be so here demonstration about Ediane I think that O'Reilly and one of the schools at UTV make sure video number what came mama good evening papa hello papa now when you know echo into me mute ha okay good evening papa
so fi am jo so na ti say
adom
michia etiefo ne ahwefo Stefia mefa kwan so ama Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia a happy birthday and then 61st birthday 61 yeah
and you about
Mahama enyirisi no Stefia Stefia mesra insurani adom eni nyinchira ma no nyansa nyankopon di ama no enye kese na nyankopon mie kwan na womra medi oman Ghana so eni nti Dr. Bawumia ba obema na ema yeyi ti bebi owo bia no me ma no happy birthday awodapa Stefia mi komeni Stefia so obvious I dey say Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia na be win elections no though enye easy mo but onu na be win elections no dey clear enye dey obi mo ka by how dey me nko Stefia last week me kasa so obama me kwan kakra me kasa wie no guy bi be kasa ma o ka say me magisika na me ejuma ma MP
I am meant for I think I
told him Stefia wabeka Stefia debi Stefia
I corrected him to forget to go on.
Stefia no craba, Stefia my basso no quad, Stefia my miss me come me medina tap.
Stefia correcting him last week.
So last week, so Wednesday, and I'm a becca say we and all becca no match into my quaya mecassa. And this over mamma macassa.
These are what
Stefia, Debbie, Stefia, so over mamma quaya macassa, Sabi, Stefia. Stefia, so Obaka, no, Obia, Tessa of a care, Kodisicao. It's my man, mammy, reason. That is Stefia, mammy, reason, try me support to Dr. Mohammed Baumia, Sabi Metia Broche, and Minya stupid. And Obia or the Entra, or Pessa, Nipa say, Mahama, the Betiso. And I miss me pet the Entra and Pessa, Dr. Mohammed Baumia, the Betiso. And to the Dr. Mohammed Baumia, Yanitra me care, I may support no. And Tennis or because of my Kodisicana mayor, a PR job, Ama Dr. Mohammed Baumia. Sabes what I brought you. So in the Ecoso Chromia. That's Stefia. Debbie Stefia Maminka because campaign Biana Mayor, near Mantra, Dr. Mohammed Baumiane, Nanado, MPPI, and Trame support from Tosa Mamma Quanamica. I don't even reason to make support to a bio. Stefia, Miss Robert Mamma, I met me up Bonnie and maybe some reason.
Days to election is winning.
Dr. Baumiani MPP winning. And the parliament in Stefia Mikacho say 142 to 150. Our parliament 142 to 150. Plus or minus. Yebenya. It is if your campaigns were Dr. Mohammed Baumiane MPP, a solid. Your campaign to Sabi any abem your opposition. And who campaign Dr. Mohammed Baumia campaign or ya in so to no jina so ni na your campaign. O chinko door to door, shana ponso to na pojine. One Mahama say so to a ojinamuda. Any campaign be no more ye. Omu say Baumia konof, none of Koye Penea Fred John Mahama was a Eastern region so on ya or no run off. Where campaign? This stuff we are MPP campaign. This stuff solid. That's the only. Summit here. That's a Michelle John Dramani Mahama. Now Michelle Dr. Mohammed Baumia. That's a year two about the stuff you have. Baumiana Ghana your politics. What me about Ghana your politics in terms of attended day. I don't know about what me say. Young candidates obey policies. Dr. Mohammed Baumia besi Ghana ya manyo se wabesi sanema bebre such a person as a o support na obi se ena wakwa kwaji sika oni pan ho Stefia miti krom here Stefia hwe Ghana card sabi Ghana card na ye no Stefia Ghana for him so no me mom ba Stefia ye ma ye wa kwantum Stefia hwe Ghana card is wo krom here na so Ghana card na so wu use Ghana passport na wutu kwan a wu use American book and British if you are pound visa, which made the Ghana card, now as a free at the Kogana. I don't crown a more be my walk into. Sister, if you got a NHIS, sister, if you are me kai wo yaw. O adum FM, Shadia, Okwaya, ya boo, or mass, and the court. That time, Nipa Kwa no muntimi and renew. Shadia na cost for Ghana. I buy Biaba. What if you to me renew online? Unko di lie o say umran office ho at say if you akoya na woni ukru no ya bom no aban bi aba utifie utimi renew e online ama eye aduma me ba Ghana the same thing am be ya mdinya card if you every month we do 5 months COVID this year me be card Ghana 5 months so if you every month be am be check up me the Ghana card and echo.
Okay.
Private hospital. So if you're not in Jessica, so if you're mobile money interoperability.
When you are
when me check up. Me in Jessica. Me in Jessica. because be na NHS for na sending me on my phone so say my ba me confirm me na me treska na me dey come check up so if you mobile probability ba me ade ba if you show me receipt ni yemo ya tra ekrom ya no action over 20 years no if you na me ya advert ma na ye ko baby na ye ko send sika Steph, you send this card come out, mamma. Oba 2 days. One typical chances can my. And so I buy me a buy, and I'm Dr. Mohammed Baumia, dear Nimuntino. Steph, your dear Nimuno, Steph, you're out here. What me send this card come out, mammy. Oh, mammy, I read. Yes, can be the 12 Roman and I'm empowered by when I buy Ben. I'm empowered. Steph, you're
issues where be influencing
both. Yes, Steph, you're free SHS. Should there be about free SHS? Steph, you're TVET. Just time. And I know one any school to say a fiacobi. And then crown home to me here, I bear my edicine so smart, and now my own so as in I read. Nema abaya babe. Now support to abaya, also Macako Jabaisica. Steph, you're drones. Steph, you're ECG. And now to me, Tiffy, too quiet as you do like how much me frail. Now on our way and online, what to be the gusso? UK across the fear, Ebinia. Now when I buy na so if you are not buying na I'm seeing UK across the fear Ebinia. And then that's a metia. That's a support to buy way out was a mema kwa Jessica. Stuff you have drones. Drones. Stuff you have about stuff you have drones.
I don't know. Speak a bit on channel.
Stuff you meant to Cassani intra.
I think speak a bit on channel.
Into Cassani intra.
Okay, very well. Until you point no.
Me doom no.
Basta make us say, Mammy said,
Stuff ya. What am I point? Stuff ya drones are by the by. Stuff ya, your mammy more. Omuko, nay, Yamuja. Shall nani Paua ne, Stuff ya, and drones are by it. Me abua, am I to meet the moja? At the Komaya mammy, Obi Yare, or Waka will be at her drones. Stuff ya, Ashanti region, Omuko, a SHS. What's it? Drop on so stuff you so turn on to me for exam say you know no mun to me for uncle stuff you Ashanti regional minister can see for drones near for exam say if come on ni na shebo one constituency one ambulance stuff you agenda 111 stuff you should drip stuff you only say a CCTV abana you know and I would drive na say udru a traffic light not red no so last if you chema na twawa wo na ya Sunday so wo fa kwan we so twaw
yo
so all this aban ye na me support to aban no yes o kasma ko disika
project into aba the project to aba mahama ba a youth in drumming youth in there they need na lose 2016 one year strategic now you are going to all the project bebo him for him abey mistake what good evening.
Good evening, my fear. Let's say.
Adam Pato Mamitio. 60 days to elections.
No, 60 days to election. And Nana, I saw Rebecca, you know, say. You're too close. But I'm glad, say. Well, one thing I've lied about Nana.
You won't say you're too close. Friends of Baumiano can't say you're close.
Over the journey life, man. Oh yeah, sir, MPP for now. Wouldn't the conversation you will meet to? Oh my cousin, you will meet to. What says that election where during your submission earlier, no, you made very emphatic statement. You said this election is going to be based on issue. Ghanaians should be very careful. Say, Mama, Maumia, Alan, Chada. One said, "Ya kasa higher than Sankrofon. You job did to a true." Mama Chada and Alan, but they play significant role. It was our election with him, and yeah, grow. It's a person for bedroom and Besho Kakra. Mama Baumia Bama, but one are formers. ABC or Benin. And independent president on anything can happen. Don't underestimate them. And of a making statement say say big Otimisa and Sikako Gan or Tenebe. I find it very interesting. So almost Kasasana because tap saying and yaba umiadia. Same wave and yaba umiadia. A individual business on my creative or more up. And on my
I'm saying, microphone, miamu, chisi.
Oh, I mean, Madundum Bibi. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Baby, we are seeing you drew as say you woman. That digitization here, then I keep complaining on this platform. Say, I wish MP before Beja once a month. Now, I'm campaign on something because digital, and there was digital world. Yeah, and then IT system, IT jobs. Those are now will be a friend, my dear friend, IT. And that is so common. I call it to a crowd, excuse me, high school students who are taking course online. Who is that? What do you do as I'm an IT expert? But if you not say IT, you know, we are simple pencil, baby, they shouldn't take credit for it. But we never create technology for say yes, or even though or the how do I put it? He discussed who he had or this introducing say, hey, I deal with cost with the Ghana. I don't know, yeah, but me, I've never created an app.
I don't think someone more can cast on no create more patches. I buy say internet, host, and I buy a control communication airwaves. I buy a control.
It started from
5G. I know be able to me a developing app because app no see any network as happening here. I think that's where they are coming from.
Oh, okay, but they shouldn't take it was too much. As they campaigning on that too much. It says only Obika MPP, only MPP Nikasa. Oh, yeah, the free SHS. Free SHS. No, the vote was on 2020. Yeah, 2-1 baby. They should stop free SHS. Free SHS by 2016. And then they vote that vote, and Akufo-Addo gain the credit, 500 votes,
The free SHS they need effect to be on this election.
That is done.
Nothing for any be so that almost go through the system.
If you one thing they should know that free SHS is coming to stay. It's not going nowhere.
Okay.
It's in a banana beboa who the credit. It was voted on 2020. It's done. It is a 2020. Yes, Ghanaians see you as funny because as a would be yes, what I say. Agenda 111, you are building 101 hospitals. Yes. And so MPP need enough for play. NDC need enough for play. Where is that agenda 111 hospital now?
Okay.
It is if you they say man holding as any baby to a better US.
But some also about meeting or be area kind of
but what I meant say no must say or responding to medical treatment, right? It's in who ye. I don't know if I agenda 111 hospital no koda ba kum ne yan hwe.
That's agenda 111 no mon kan baby at o ma wie over jay.
If you want to
there be interview nyina admit say the omo wie no komo wie structure ne equipment komo wie.
Hey, if you mess a new video, I watch this guy on Joy FM on the way guy, yeah. Or the best new video no watch. Oh boy, say 300 and something.
Yeah, but again, one man who's matters or more cat or maybe completely 100%. He made a
statement that it started with Akufo-Addo and completed and commissioned by Akufo-Addo. He said
I don't know that because I'm aware that none of them know maybe. But if I would do any two petita crema, who is winning one what ahead?
so far, dear, and I'm checking where no, Baumia were ahead of some few points, which is good sign for him. I am close. But one thing that we should know say politics and as elections, even a one day things can change. Especially where we go with this Galamsey issue here. Equity abano. Oshe protesters here any interview and Nana Akufo-Addo, His Excellency, His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, in interview or call grantee or can say, see, I think Kolana and you no fault. We need to arrest any protester. No advocate for protest. Was or started be way back. It Obi our was half field do I don't know what. One thing Nana His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo should know say. You're too Obama now on my penny. You are for everybody. Nisem no cannot me no me the body language. He was speaking out of anger and pain. And so vindictive problem no one he should stop it. Your man penny for all Ghanaians. Not special people be and I'll get
but for the already I may quote one in town. So where vindictiveness no were here. Because this one he was saying say I don't know in charge of arrest. Why is the vindictive in this context?
I fear he Nana do my order said they should release them kids. They better release them.
But why should Nana do give order? Other than the domino career bunch anybody and then Nana do my order. You get rule of law. Yama institution. Yama mobile man or bag and say you allow the institutions to work. Why should Nana do give an order? In the end, be a betting subsequently beyond my order and say
no. The whole point wrong. Let me finish with your question, Abisame. If you say at the end of course for Ghana, if we sit here and play with it, say you're the bad politics, we won't go nowhere. And so your body, water bodies, your assassin, your lands, your units, and if you it's more than Ukraine war. It's more than Russia, Israel for to call Moko. Obi beto bomba on to say crony now. It's just special place by big crab now, and few people get affected. At the end of course for Ghana, no scientists for approval said it would take 60 years to get mercury out of our landscape. It is a better the idea of growth and Kolawe are fighting against it. Now Munya got to arrest them, say, I don't know all case Munya no is going to affect your future. No mommy no. Nase obiti abam no this kind of police channel near all two Galamsey no they were fan who edi. And no cry and no. The person who is fighting for you and I know has been arrested. I would never understand this issue. Say mobile punishment, guy no go to police key. I'm against it. Last mekawa. You should not do that. Nioko bubu ba umia billboard. I'm against him. He shouldn't do that. But what about the innocents? Those who are fighting on the street, they are fighting for our common good. All of us. But you're not King Fimo.
Okay, so who push later they should be granted bail.
They should be granted bail. Okay. Let them go. At least you punish them for a week or some few days. They learn their lesson. Next time they protest, they know what.
And then I'm not granting you bail. I think I'm saying weapon man bail. Vomao. And the court has granted them bail. The president has no business to call that anybody should be released because there was separation of powers. And before more America for your constitution, the president cannot interfere with the judicial process.
Well,
that's why there's separation of powers.
If that's what the court said, Mary draws her statement.
That's what the court said. I democratic a year over that. There's separation of powers.
Separation of powers.
So the president doesn't have the right to call the judiciary and order them. The right to grant bail is left to the discretion of the court. And the president to me only Nepal and rule.
Power in rule.
In rule.
And yet, Majama a offer Akasa. Nemono. So see a releasing Colorado, at least that's a
and no mama will be Voma or the man granting but the mama can they've granted them bail today. The court granted them bail today.
And I've never seen them yet. No,
online, you see the story. They've been granted bail today.
It's a good step. Let them come home. But protesting their men, I will encourage them they shouldn't stop because they are fighting for all of us. And then again, time I'm blocking street now in Crawford Hospital now. You're blocking street near the Nefia. one individual hospital now, yeah, all Kodia Yarisana ya block no dia chino. But what about the whole nation na yebewu? You know,
I think your point is more effort should be done to stop the Galamsey. No, yes, I think that's where a Buffon bano. Okay,
before they should do it. Yo.
Galamsey, I think you'll be very passionate about it. You want to come back to more? Good evening, Akwaba.
Good evening, Sister Fia. I'll prefer some media mayhem issue, you know, Galamsey, no. Ya can't intimate and can be there. Me person me for
and the main issue about 60 days to election. Who do you think is ahead? Who is trailing? And what issues do you think will inform the decision?
I think it's good. It's good question. And to be fair, I near back Sister Fia met ye bra penny or casa see I'm a person me draw attention cry say son me say 1 minute person be 2 minutes. When you talk of tap cent and it's answer now kana don't say individual company no my, but the question is dear ne man me buy in tears dear ne ba ubeti my intina ye ti wada da ye sha say use mobile phone no bit me send it tap send could go before so it wasn't there even before 2016 it wasn't there. It because of mobile money interoperability and no na I facilitate Saudi way. And even if Ufri say oh my government no korano oh mona basu or don't just downplay your friend said the significance of that kind of intervention. You know, it is without that, you know, that wouldn't work. For instance, Sister, if you're US, me or UK, this thing it doesn't work here. There's no mobile money interoperability in the UK. Minim US there, but I'm pretty sure about it. You
can US you to cash up ne those also there.
It beats me to UK. Or Minnesota or UK. I'm pretty sure from last conversation. You can say there's no tap communication. Wouldn't mean send this car could go before.
I don't understand. I don't.
Also UK
yeah.
Most and want to be sending mobile money.
I say if I want to send money to you, it's bank to bank transfer. If I have an iPhone.
What's the old question? Will be personal can't but me what the old cano when him the old
say if you are a bank to bank one.
Sister I'm saying say Ebinia
is maintain.
When you talk of mobile money interoperability, it's different from bank to banking transaction.
No.
No, Sister Fia, if I have Sister Fia, Ghana, banks in India more honor. Need you can say more banking.
There's
no need for you to argue because I'm in the UK. I'm not open to being cancer. And
main issue.
You don't just Obi can't say maybe I don't need fat because
when I have it's not about being fat. It's
about when I have a mobile money app, when I have a banking app on my phone, a bank say me Barclays Bank. Barclays no more divided or more Barclays app. And your bank transfer and now we here to different bank. But Ghana, the mobile money. That
is not even an issue for moving on. Because that is why the mobile money.
Good. Everything that makes sense.
Our bank account.
What I'm trying to say is some points you develop and you will be maybe assembly trunk will be sometimes you correct impression is when working because for instance there was
main issue so far.
Okay. In terms of you can say in terms of our battery, what I have observed about NPP campaign strategy, NPP campaign strategy, my device, so much to the extent say they have really realized what led them into opposition in 2008. And that is the basis to which campaign when you completely different altogether. That time on now you can see that kind of animosity na ne wo enipa mu no ne doso One thing I'm observe about your friends, Dr. Bawumia campaign, we know, is on the basis of his inclusivity. He is somebody what try no matter what. One taking the issue of say obia time, obia kame, obia kansema chireme, into the wakati ho. One victimizing obia. All what he tried to do is to bring everyone on board. And I mean say, you talk of somebody like Ken Japan, the level to which your campaign you know. Senya Bawumia ingenuity. Minya sure saying KB or betting me about. At the same time, I think say somebody like a friend is saying, Boatia Jacko, Matis and says one of launch campaign or support Bawumia. At the same time, all the flag bearers in India except Alan.
But is that a winning strategy, those? So a good mom so winning back to support him.
That tells you that cohesion in Tina make sure say the woman party no and yen na ye up to say can send be say and yet the why yen na really vote you. Sometime when he keke obi betim dia kotoa betia. And this no opportunities anko for when you now so woman numbers. And come back to my catch on betting at Tiada. Now, so what bringing those people on board, they will be able to tell their followers, say, me kurama join here. Why don't you? They will be able to tell their followers to join the main campaign of Dr. Bawumia.
Okay.
And also betting me aboa ama and kofwati oma say. And one thing we should be able to applaud Dr. Bawumia is about the rate here. The what creating unity, irrespective, say, who compare this unity now, cracks away, no, and so to say 2008, dear no.
Okay.
At the same time, no, NPP parliamentary elections in Inano. I don't really think, say, Ubetimi Akase, there's no election, I wouldn't mean hiccups, dear. But okay, parliamentary elections now. Uche to say compared to 2020 elections now, you know. You can see say ne one enko for matemi ho for no na almost doso. At the same time, this time no, they gave a level playing ground to everyone. And this will be kura so be ko independent. Any panel na abon timu person, no matter what you will say, mintie. Because I have every information, meaning say Dr. Bawumia suman ko form womu ko individuals no omu fie ono atimi ko man adwo ne omu ko kasa be obi o ho abo na adwe mu pose
strategy how is it looking? Is it making Bawumia, is it giving Bawumia more votes ahead of Mahama, or still Mahama is ahead?
Enuntina ama ubetimi akase Dr. Bawumia nansi okan was say demo or submitting and was it the momentum is actually on our side. The reason why the momentum is on our side, and he said he has been able to bring a lot of people on board. Okay. At the same time, on the system, that is not the only thing. What devising is saying, why a diversification of campaign. Campaign now, why any say one, your friend is saying, or no need namely baby. Yeah, when you so nam the bed.
Did I just say Nana do be dividing MPP na Bawumia no wetin me come nyina bom.
No, I'm not saying that. As
because no no. Because the question
you've always been talking about Nanado. Nanado is not on the take it you.
This is a legitimate question from Modi. Patrick, question. A public question or so by analogies. Are you trying to say Nanado divided the MPP? What kind of analysis is this?
That's not what I said. Said Nanado or divided, and what I'm trying to say is 2008. Said Nanado divided NPP. I don't think so. We could have had the opportunity to come to power.
2008 as don't go far. Nanado by 2016. 2016,
what you are trying to do is say, we are looking at potential Dr. Bawumia
president. Question. A debate when I call raising issue no be a throw a legitimate question to you. Who done it?
Your sister, if you miss Miss Mansas, and you know correct when divided. But what I'm trying to say is,
how did those people all leave? I feel no matter. How did they go? I feel no matter. How did they leave? And
no,
why are they
because
now
of that, what it is, you know, when you come to government here, you definitely will step some people to. There will be an open position when you will be a while. Now I expect to be a fear by no when you will be a while. Now you say the cap I be a B C D. I should have been given this and that position. You will be also a now home. Ye yini frimu. I be a time a quiet yini frimu. One tears here. People get there's always reason individual issues.
Okay,
and because of individual issues, Rutimin Kase, I trusted Jaco, yeah, NPP and President Bayano, or Fano Mani, energy minister. And so I have been a be a silk chair, and not just the president in what town. There must be something, be a course. I don't have that preview information.
Okay.
Nemo, what I'm trying to say is upon everything a course no was it what they say a course kwan ye one ho ebia bufu aba nsema misrew. This is the time that we need to come together.
Okay,
at the same time people are also thinking 1 minute people are looking at this Mr. Sister Fia. So what I need you to also say understand is in terms of Dr. Baumiano, he is a different entity altogether. What Dr. Baumia said, or yet President Kufuado. President Kufuado is not going to be on the ballot. So whatever they are doing, it's going to be Dr. Baumia, what he feels, and what the government has done. But I am personally of the opinion, say, when you look at the free SHS policy, and in Chronoba, last year.
Yeah, also Olande.
Ghana. They Ghana. They no be a catch A1. At the way they say and people are sure say be winning and you made you. The same people now coming in for or Ghana. Even last 1 month. And they called me, one guy called me now say one. I can tell you on the grounds NPP is winning. I'm not saying it's straightforward. It's going to be a hard-fought win. But what the Dr. Baumia team no, or my campaign no, about to the ordinary people, doing everything that they can no, to marshal the NPP force. And at the same time, they've set the campaign to energize their base. Because they
Waba Monko grounds na Monko campaign.
Of course, sister Fia. Me new to
yeah. I think I don't run top on. That's a good evening.
Even if you're Boko there.
Monko grounds, I'm going to mo. That's a good evening.
Yeah, evening.
Do you agree, say MPP for no are leading? Said you one in town, Kano.
Oh, maybe we need to talk about realities of the conditions in Ghana. Most of the times, we shouldn't tickle ourselves and laugh, as you've been saying. The thing is on the ground. I wanted to find out, over Ghana, a population now, what is the percentage of people involved in illegal mining? So, Vim Lady was that statistics.
I don't have that data, but it looks like a lot of people.
There are lots, but I don't think they will form even 5% of the population of Ghana. You understand?
So 5%, that's a lot, but maybe
2.5 or maybe a little over 1.5 or something. But you look at the devastating nature of what the Galamsey is causing. Do you think Ghanaians are happy what's going on? To the extent people in diaspora is even having the effect, because then the kind of Ghana will be in your been exported from Ghana by yes, there's been an issue, traces of mercury. And I've always said if MPP will be going to opposition now, this is the dagger in the heart of MPP. This Galamsey.
Is it just MPP? MPP possibly they will legalize Galamsey. In fact, MPC time they could not resolve Galamsey. So why are you blaming MPP in Kona?
If let me tell you this thing. When I say during the magnitude of the issue, So Obekaya, your Ghana no na omun mine water body like this, because I remember when I was in Ghana, there was illegal mining at this high peak, even during Muhammad's time, but they were mining on the lands. No more
Well,
mining.
at Amel's time, at Amel's quarter, they were mining water body, man, yet at this level.
This level.
At this level,
To the
yeah.
level,
But they were mining in water bodies too, yeah.
Well, to the extent that our neighboring country, which is Cote d'Ivoire, are complaining about their waters being contaminated. So it tells you the level of contamination across, and majority of people are going to vote. Me in Ghana, I'll vote because of it, because water is life.
You vote because of Galamsey, no?
I'm telling you, ensure the moment you ensure your contamination, that is it. We are finished. And aside the ensure your lands are being destroyed. You get it. And let's say me and Galamsey, but we should do it at the right places that we have to do it. And the land, we are not a reclamation. Yeah, reclaim, because Titanian and one of my seen it. But to the extent say will ensure my man for a demonstration I say still because of vote, you know. Ghanaians can punish you for that, because there are some people, academia or more offices, or they don't have any effect about it, or no one just get being free Galamsey. As a way so still I let people do their Galamsey because of their source of livelihood. You will be punished for it. But they said it. They've said they've been in communication, even on your platform, said they will allow them to do it, because Oman and Galamsey now they will lose their vote, because they lost it 2004. Their 2000 their constituencies 2020. Their constituencies are now Galamsey side. They lost their MPs. They lost their MPCs. Until this time around, they are not going to do that. And based on it, you know, if you're me metro, because me Galamsey, and I'm not benefiting from Galamsey. And they are mad. That's why I was asking you the percentage of people doing Galamsey in Ghana. And the percentage of money be now marry difference. One will say, this is the number of people involved in it. Indeed, if I prevent them, is it going to have any causal effect than or money be more majority? You understand? Aside that, no, so it seems like we've forgotten about the economy of Ghana.
It is also Ghana can be voting against MPP for.
Yes,
because some time no more. Although Ghana said NDC for
listen, once there NDC time, if you were in Ghana and you didn't see this kind of damage that has been caused.
Not to this level, and to be fair, not to this level. It was there, but not to this level.
So we don't have clear waters even across Ghana. You understand? But aside the Galamsey issues, when it comes to economy, they perform poorly, and we know it. Even dollar to CD rate is something else that we've not talked about. And even idea surprising me so surprising me so much is that right now it seems we are not talking about corruption during the campaign. I don't know if we've forgotten about it, because past campaign errors, you know, we are talking about corruption, dealing with corruption. It seems that this time around nobody's talking about corruption, and I'm so amazed. And just because you look at what happened at what do you call it, National Cathedral issue, a pop up, how funds has been, you know, used to do what it has to be done.
But Cathedral no report Deloitte for actually said there's nothing like corruption.
Last week, no can once them say if there's no corruption, Duncan Williams in Utabani is to done about me and come
they can resign based on moral issues.
Do you remember what the reason why they resigned?
No, but they never said corruption. They never mentioned corruption.
Listen, go Google and find out. They said things are not clear to them, because
yes, but it's not tantamount to. I'm careful about the word, you know. Things are not clear to them is one thing. Corruption is specific.
Whichever way.
Whichever
way. But it seems that this time around, and I'm just surprised that this time you've not involved yourself in the media as past years. Not that time you hold the politicians as to corruption.
Do you know what we have done? Do you know what we have gone through? And the beatings we have suffered, and the threats we have suffered. My family, where were you people? You were sitting behind your TV and just enjoying the content. Are you kidding me?
Let me tell you
I'm 20 years now. 20 years now, and then I know what I'm doing. Congress cover party Congress, not 3 days in January. You got pure water. I crack it. Cratchio. You took pure water, and I didn't know your car, your jeans near Ohio. Say, are you kidding me? And at this age in my 40s, I should still do that because
whichever way.
Christian, I'm going to put our own insurance. Yeah, boy, and there's not even one city insurance on our head. One city insurance. Are you kidding?
Yeah. I mean, some people need because
the truth of the matter is
it's not MPP people that beat you up. Do you remember that story?
I don't even care, but my point is, you don't expect my 20-year-old self that was screaming on the Mekai MPP Congress be a Kumasi. Police I'm still reporting. That kind of adrenaline because I said in my 40s, I won't do that.
All right, that's cool.
I won't do that.
Man, what amazes me is that this time around, we are not talking about corruption in politics.
Are you saying that you're raising corruption issue now and the voters? What the voters want is what we are doing.
No. If you at least those issues has to come up because you're a gatekeeper. The media is a platform for the neutrality of it. So you need to come up with issues that regards corruption.
The media is the public that is now in telling us what we should raise. They say Galamsey issue. They are saying joblessness. They are saying a friend saying the other issues I raised today. What the public, the media mirrors the society. So the society, ain't raising issue. Back in the days,
if you are you telling me that right now, no, there's no corruption in Ghana, or people are not talking about corruption.
I'm demonstration who's raising corruption. They say Galamsey. That's the issue we are discussing.
Right now, they have to do with like the issues on board right now. As currently, what's going on? The devastation of our water bodies, fine. But what's the previously?
I'm even dragging this with corruption. They be a corruption. I say, I don't say corruption.
Yeah.
I raise the issue about public debt, where the money is going, what it was used for. If
you're whichever way, but me, I've said it will be very hard for Baumia to win because there are so many factors that will not go in his favor. And more so, his party is in power, and there were so many things that they could have done better, which was part of the party that they couldn't do. Because if success about party, you claim it, but if there is failure there, you are not part of it. You understand? Per that logic, Ubi or better, baby, you be say, idea, you do it by introducing free estate. You were part of it. But if there were failures as to depreciation of the city, you are not part of it. My advice, say no. People will vote on these issues as well. You understand what I mean? So these things also count. The commandant choirs, once I say but positive, they are bound into probability. I was part of it. But when it comes to corruption, when it comes to National Cathedral, when it comes to some decisions, that one I don't have a say. It's that kind of high dishonesty. You understand what I'm talking about? But basically, I know Mahama is easier for him to win than to lose it.
Okay.
It's not about the campaign. It's not about the door to door that you go. You go door to door. At the end of the day, the people that are going to vote, they know what they are going to vote for. They know their water bodies are being destroyed, which there's nothing being said about it. They know some folk will demonstrate here, which after 48 hours, after 48 hours, you need to release the person. And I say,
police.
Whichever way.
But the court can remand you beyond 48 hours. Police before then also release you.
Whichever way. I know
that is the law. Men can whichever way. That is the law. Law, police cannot keep a person in custody beyond 48 hours unless they properly charge the person and put the person before a court of competent jurisdiction. But a court of competent jurisdiction can deny you bail beyond 48 hours.
All right. So, also Bempa, my main case, I heard you talking about it. That is briefly. With also I don't see anything wrong with it. Unless we are about you. I think past years he said it in the MPP's favor and they were happy. You understand? And to this time around, we're in somebody's favor, NDC's favor. Why should you be mad at him and be talking and be saying things about him?
And their politics, they're normal.
Yeah. And now Okase also Bempa is playing politics. Me, I was a little bit disappointed. So, and
also just say we also have a right to make our judgment.
And yes, sir.
Because of you would say,
Yeah,
So how genuine is your intention?
Who was spiritual eye? Who
Yeah, yeah, spiritual eye. One spiritual eye. Only more. Yeah, spiritual eye.
Honest, we're around.
But forget. Until NBC at top on the journal. Nigeria is money, you don't know journal. So I'm monkey the job baboon. Forget you. Also, been forget. Mazayalo. Let the NBC for Nigeria, they've been consistent. They've been consistent and loyal to Muhammad. Let them enjoy their.
If you have no so who need there, send me
a shower prophecy there. Shower prophecy there. Shower prophecy there. Ufri asama bank I'll be prophecy way. Mamiti wa Patrick. Abranche be running away from the truth. Master, me do cut truth. Me do cut truth. Me obiam to abama. I'm not on any ballot paper. I don't owe anybody. Sabi when you need to your nothing stops you from seeing the truth. Then people think
the whole issue is Galamsey. I don't care. Me say I have me. Say Ghana you now best shut it down. Kwa no beka so omun twaba. Kopim say fix Galamsey omunye. Hwe. Asema ye ken. It is more than atomic bomb by the atuabo Ghana. It is more than say apano. The world market can decide say yen to Ghana kuku bi. The world market can decide say yes, the world market can decide say yen to Ghana fish bi. Our economy can literally shut, and even our very existence is threatened. I do not care. It doesn't matter. Yes, campaign we had a nipa na obabedi omoso. Nipa na obabedi omoso no mo na ye tu omoasi. Water is life. And if this doesn't cause any cause, I will say all labor, everybody can shut down and say no elections. Because this thing is a political issue between both parties, whether we like it or not. And it is time civil society take it upon themselves and shut it down. The reason why this government is being mentioned more is the perception or the fact that there are several people in the helm of government running this show. Okay? Gay asem newa America. The dancer na Obama buy. Now so then Obama de nanu betum. Inti ene ye kan ye den e de chichire ni kon. That's how it is.
Oh no, buy no toilet no. Then
and yes, no na de buy you. E wo hodeda. It is the same thing with Galamsey. And yes, ni hodeda nsa na aban we ba. E wo hodeda. But the way aban we handle no, ama omwan kasa people known, well known, have come out and say and about how they are running it. No, that is why Suboni in our also. And this is not anything that anybody should have soft gloves for. Me wutu mi ankagana batu ka nye jimesa no ye na ye be shutting in.
Okay, create state of emergency.
Because state of emergency. Asama ye kan no sister fia ye nyina ye kan ho ye nyina be han se akrampo me koto bayira se emisu me koto Ghana aduane was store se ya. I am thinking twice about it.
Yeah.
This I have done my year chemistry in college. I know what hard metals are. Ye nimse net city. Insona ye purify wa Ghana is nothing. Ghana with a serious complaint, they are not doing anything. And it doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter where you are in Ghana right now. And found baby, yeah, you will hand crampo no be kind now. What think right? Yeah, you will hand crampo a big kind now. What think right? I really don't see why this is not urgent for all of us. This is because we a 2 years you.
Do you think because that's why the way you are describing how urgent it is. Who say your voters need the politicians need that? Do you think they've taken it as serious as you are seeing it?
Because they don't understand it. Yenti asiye. Yenim ye mercury ye. Yenim ye lead ye. Yenti asiye. Yenim ye manipa nipedria. Enti no until say ye beti asiye. Nebe hu how long that takes. And the fact say, no matter how many chemicals, nsono betimi ye clear, nanso mercury in fi mu ye. Nsono betimi ye clear, nanso lead in fi mu ye. What you say? None of those metals no good to our body. Say ye disakasa we pa ko ye potokas ye a friend saying ye local languages mu na chre ase na nipa hunu a he ka ube sana Ghana for because idea where nearby no enya sem keto right now as we speak Cote d'Ivoire can lodge Ghana can go and sue Ghana.
So they can sue Ghana on international maritime court, yeah.
Exactly. We are at this point where right now, no, as a people, our very existence is threatened.
Yeah, but Patrick,
somehow,
if you see how I say NBCC on ban NPP so almost stop. In fact, I have this video here.
Who said we are winning the seats in the mining areas.
Yes.
So they decided to go and import foreigners. No one buy no man can't jump say munko in renumu. Na munko to go do or say munko so no na munko to. Na mo refi mu na the whole year. In so I a problem da. Enya 1 month ya na started. Eye obi na opese anka omo ye na anka ye di speed. Nanka ya court nanka ya stop Galamsey for nanka ya lose your seat. Yes, stop you omo na. Yes, stop you omo china.
Okay, so let me play this one to you. Hold on.
Since you are Mohun Wahano, or Behun said the land in the city, or Becca, Namebua, after on the 11th, on the 7th, and she say, at the mom, because on one of us are what now. Said the Bay Union, Bray, or Maya Jumaka Clay. Most would be not a silly. Now, so that's how the machine was 1 month, our Bacco Hine. Now, so the Abba Yajuma. Now, so do Chromo call for Friday. Eddie, and 2 Quaco to Abano, a John Daman Mahama, a 2 direct.
Okay, and this is it. The parties doing politics with
I feel when you need to say election, quiet shutting it down. now you see my point.
But those people will not agree. Party think 90 years that
there be as some make any military better take over. Yeah, as some make an one unkofono mu jina honom no. They don't know. Omunim tiasie. Omunim niasa. Chemicals no mu use no e de be ya ma omuhwidi ene omoma omunimu anka omunye. The first person who spoke is a medical doctor. Yeah. You see how wicked we are as a people? You see how wicked and selfish we are as a people? He is a medical doctor, a trained medical doctor. If anybody at all should stand on such a platform and say those words, it shouldn't be him. And you know, say this, and you know, if we are willing, say, Nipabewu as politicians for a will listen Nipabewu and the military take you over. Then we are better off the military should take over. Look, let us be very, very honest with ourselves. Okay. Because I didn't because I say I know uko Ghana mpoa unso obedwale ni every pap mo obedwale crap true. It doesn't even matter the kind of water. You can even go and import the water. Your spring water is contaminated. Adentia. Nsuo river no and one is sipping down. There is a place where all the waters meet, which is the water table. And at this point, it really doesn't matter. We see well, we feel poor. It is not safe. This is the point. And you know, and found some you misika, you are not safe. And found some you misika. There be. Nkofo should seize all political parties now that they should all come to an agreement and make a decision. They should all, civil society should boycott election because right now none of them is talking sense. They should seize the two leading candidates. Say, we want your point on Galamsey. Someone to media and so take you over. I don't think that we are seeing the agency, the sense of agency in this. Because biani obedi kurampu, unso obenum. Se utu kwana uko Ghana se ya unso obenum nuni baby fi. Uni baby fi. Ni obedware. Ni oyedi be nua aduane ama wodi. Wonua if you add chlorine to water, it doesn't change anything. It just kills the germs. It doesn't take anything out. So wherever water is in our part of the world, nsuo bi also interacting. Every water connects. Ain't you know? Say, ain't you know? Me no. I do not say when the more bio, when the tap bio. It all matters not if the people there are not alive to experience that.
Yo. Patrick, because civil society, I don't think they can say the soldiers should take over. That would be treason.
Well, it really doesn't. Well, at this point, what is more than treason than killing an entire country?
Well, definition is different in the law.
Well,
but I think the point that you are making earlier, the agency with which I wasn't not almost solve the problem. Instead
they have to come to an agreement. Yeah, they have to come to an agreement and say, you know what? It doesn't matter who comes to power. This problem is our existence. It bears on our existence. We are going to solve it by hook or crook. We must demand that from them as a people.
I think I know now. Solution in realistic. I say postpone the elections. No, and what they but we agree. Say the agency of the situation. There, you are right. Alex, good evening.
Good evening, it is a
Adam also.
Adam. You come kaka. Now, me person me can't be before illegal mining.
No, but opposite side kaka maya.
Okay. Say
yes.
Person me can't be before illegal mining no kaka. When it comes to the illegal mining, I think the Ghana for you know they see a kaboom they to fight it. It's illegal mining. The politicians, you know, they are in for their own selfish interests. Because me believe when they say, "Will be your best sponsor party be a man about power be and or banny a trust site be a man say, Kokoye, you man a quatoka." The sites where my quatoka copeska crash of one position and also intimate chairman and my now you soon ordinary Ghanaians na ye say soon mom. I don't think say everyone to me Ghana for you now coming together. Now I mean politicians I don't trust them anymore. Because position and you're kind of different. About power and society you're kind of different. And to me pa me there. Say be how about say military and may take over and those kind of stuff. I don't agree with that. Because military, you know, they are all involved. Police, they are all involved. You track concession, many prove they are all involved. This is a external force. To say Wagner group for an external security personnel only be. On the about Nimobia, then their mom. Someone handle Galamsey issue for 6 months, 1 year.
But do you think the parties are the same, you know, our political will so me solve Galamsey?
That's what I said. Say, Omono, Obe sponsor political party, no power. Near track concession, I say, Fakoya, you man, a pisca. Omunina need that will some best solve that issue. Or more bit my year, but I won't be because already power no will be Canada. And you know, mean to me, what Tim's Kakasi Mount, Coco Galamsey and a talker. Because regional platforms are all kind of different. Regional platforms are all kind of different.
Okay. But do you think that I'm saying a bit determined? Like it's one of the issues a bit determined. Do you think that
the ordinary Ghanaians in Angas they don't vote on issue basis right now? Right now they don't vote on issue basis right now. Can Alanche Martin policies or Diego Hormo person or the Bugana. Or no, I see a 2 Obama Nanko Digana. Only I see it, but political colors, you know, are blindfolded or Monty or Mununia. Oh, yeah, we better not no, I can say, oh, Baumia the tap sent by Baumia the way by. I mean, it's our conversation we yatra. Tap send the name in Tamuba or probability, no. Yes, I had the credit in the man. I think you had the man for a Ministry of Communication. What I said, you credit. And the only any candidate is all the credit. Or the say I am from now, but now we are head of economic management team. They also one you person become once. Look at the kind of corruption I cause war Baumia office. obi more fan the port the more obi or the cocoa campaign and the oba on corruption cost war on can but tap send up any digitalization or beso object credit in the money on can once you know the American campaign I know say I think say obi am trying na young going in a slow way in the way Ghana mubejo because any baby na ya Ghana man na obetimi abehu di Ghana obema Ghana na no etimi abepeja Ghana akọ baby e pese yakọ can say kakra metimi aka no but me catch Ghana for you na say mo koto aba mo hwe alanchemati na mo ntie ni policies na mo fanto abama alanchemati ali so wetin abo Ghana pa alanchemati wetin abo Ghana na o mi no de o le hwe alanchemati running mate na wayi no kura no oko TV no kasa yes he's talking on issue basis na popa ko gina campaign platforms no kasa na pona na ye nim se nka odi bi beka MPP ho onka ni bia anim na koto kosa amu hu se NDC ye bi no mo power no e betimi atene so mo refi wo mo ho a so mo but me the peace na me nya wo Ghana say asumdwe ba
now let's na say baby say and no to me join here o say asumdwe ba no do for later Alan any the best person ko betimi dey by Ghana for na ma political colors not blindly and baby I want one ejina bread good evening.
Good evening, Sophia.
Adum now so. Oh, from baby out in one lady.
Oh, it's Sophia. Me figure about Thursday. Now, say I never see where the organa. Say I never see organa. Serious. Oh, who never different now Ghana. But what could do Chrome? Who say never nyakra, never unkuye, never unkuye. Was me commissioner ko market libre wo am ya me shara ko market no kwatade no kwada braka market ko Medina ana e ba makola fa dwam a nyema wo dwam na so one ye ntade e de ntia nyema boy di bibi we ko bi se bia no wo free next person to another person on different price on the same thing with different prices different say bibi ankoso ana sika no so kra no o kite sika bia se be 50 pounds kra na wo yi se wo market wa wo gina ho no a 50 pounds no be am 5 cedis kwa ma o be san kwa san dey discount for san de ka ya wo de kwa no ha asan o study e am say bibia onko na bibia ma ni say bibia ya style bi wo Ghana ko ni bibia boy di but ona o hwe ni ma so because me to for ke abeka say o de Ghana card ko private hospital ya free na ko ha me bi say Ghana card no akwa nche me fa ma me enko sa private yi no for nso enko free ni na and me the Ghana card and I say private hospital oh Ghana if you kwa no wo kwa no kwa yi ni see a prescription from the yimawa medications no kwa no you be say either you qualify for this and I say no and so na bia wo aka so akoto aka kwa yima kama kita akoto na Ghana na we say private the whole Ghana mo say the ukita Ghana card na kwa private hospital private too yes government po kwa bo onya do me na private hospital
oh private phone be soje mum there.
But it's a see a pan, Obi and it's a Ghana card now. Ekita say just a normal ID. If you are to call Nigeria to go to Nigeria, but say if you are the Ghana card, it's very important to be in Yana and a year. It doesn't even value a year.
But say, and for you broche kwa surface no mo Ghana visa because mumu bebe mukuta foreign passport. This is the Ghana card no to so omo to make the call. I think that's what you were saying.
It's a personally guitar is indefinite, you know. Oh, quite obey you both for even quite the same guitar British, you know. Quite a baby say, where is your Ghana card? I will Ghana passport and I see they say. Because me should make card, but me had the Ghana passport can plus British passport and some medical. Yes, let me just say why can I use this one to travel alone? I said no, you have to bring your Ghana card, Ghana passport. There are two passports with one Ghana card. And said I any ideas but the case of I talk to you so yeah if anything Galamsey no me call I mam ho enchi now from Bogoso to Asankagwa just a kwan back say just a via pia timo de kono ye nam slow such a because we the list and a quality na am na and motu to say you from Galamsey from Bogoso to Asankagwa I quench no If a Galamsey kwa then I yakwana jono around 2 a.m. Now for you know omu we say light in the home yejuma omu tupa na the next day let me say if free adia chi aka na you know omu se nkofo piko nim wo mu ko bia so pan ni my man e ire so kita fika so ni my man e ye omu ko site akoko ye adwuma say insu wo me here ye video bi me nim say me ba me say delete because me insu bi insu e da so ka sepa da won insu ni na ye brown similo no brown pa an say oh yeah but the next day Como for one, yes, baby from outside places, Janeba. You more, if for citizens, no go sell Kunumwa and a yard. Ufi, then on the next 2 days of Mebano. Maybe I'm a po and a papa, I'll be around 8 o'clock. Just nip a good sight, you my pa, it's a life, a pound. I guess you a pound, but you quite almost to if you know, if you man can so much for you, much mine and all, if you.
Oh, wow. So because the Galamsey no na kofo be jina so ato aba. Na wo de hu ye o we. E ya for say Galamsey no mbeti decide about no.
It's a fear other place na we say majority no. Enye majority enye omo ye Galamsey no omo ye musi ai. Omo no so an bi asa and say the rest of the people. And there's no way I'm so be about as I say aba no taking some measures be. So we try because both NDC and MPP no Omiri no omba mu a they can even solve this kind of problem because government no over to take some harsh measures. They say no, I will not allow this to go on again. So then now for a demonstration no because the president no want to me. They say obra so obi anko mo for na eye ade no some nkofo want me no mo na eye for omo na omo ye Galamsey no eye obi a nti say government no so ono so wo shares wo nti want me nka so okase obi anya forever na MPP for majority no omo ai women's organizer ya kwahye ne yi no o ka say omo amfa ichi akuti amanika
omo kuta license Canadian company bi ono omo ye joint venture let us
buy omo na so ese ayi nti ese ka ya ese ba me kwa yi bi fu eba me fata kwade takwade so ka say da ni so ni di of ayo ke so ka say pa da big da pa pita kwade ko mu eba insu ni na ya brown insu ni na ba bia ya brown look at kapao I bet you
based on Galamsey na should it be a major issue any other issue
but both you know parties ni na me say majority of people now omo other rural areas ni na no omo ye Galamsey nti am say hono so omo say omo ye ya omo ko ha majority no ho amenya vote free ho because most now we are Accra ma se takwa de Cape Coast no a obi se hono so je but o kan kuro nke transaction bo mu a most na city kuro nke kuri o kan bo mu a doso na most ne se afana ko be bre no a so e wa omo ye mine no nti o mu se ti anko ahọ ka bibia antoma so o e je ba se mo e ba ko so ma ya o mu so most vote ni na ni city ni na e bi na MPP ye no o mu so ba se ana mu ja na ko ka so ni mo ya mbe gu ndia de be twetiam ana mu twtia o mu a mo ana bia na se man ya MPP ni wa be ka se ni ye be o ye ba ye nya ma mo ye ma ye kan Galamsey nti se o ya it doesn't make any sense here the best thing is say abano when o ye chief of we be taking measures big measures say and just obia ko ye nya agent for obia say ma wa ye mu bia ko site obia ko ba bia ye hwe se nsu no improvement be ba mu a because ye so ni ga kan ko no if you yinkwa yare anya yinkwa
yeah mati was Edmond my na was bebe openi kase nana
good evening
akwaba so
Patroti Mika
yetonka
all right me da wasi no ojuma pa we
yes
eliedi ka me kam bia fa Galamsey no nse Galamsey ni de em say yade e o fitititi o na sabre na education is very low na your population is very low na time so shede ni ho na social media ni ho nipa se na betimi akoto cameras that time no na o ma phone so a nti yade anya na e wo da before Rollins be banyina the esiso ana efinkran na ye ko ikrum a ye go fa du nkwa office so ye di train ko fa so a ofe emu aye ko
up to now. You say since years no. Of any atiana and into the idea all the social media and camera. And I'm a see a public show. And I'm a public show interest. What do I say? And the idea, so I bet because of it, you have a service issue now, or that uncle for now. At the moment, you know, a issue my NDC more CMPP because some of the go. What do I say? A issue my NDC more CMPP. Yeah, some almost stop. Some will lose vote. Almost in a person about power. What do you say? I know almost more power, no. No, almost for no, yeah. And MPP for sending me out stop. And the idea of the best solution is a ABI because Australia, Omega Galamsey, America, Galamsey. And see, you ever call ABI. You call Yakofa, Abrofuni be a few, now quite almost fast or me, Diana, and sense, you know. Match saying no because Galamsey as if Ghana catch and say I shouldn't even think about it, especially you go abroad, you know. Yeah, how we alone government best support too. Now Obi da Ghana one common is covered to the end in the Juma say Obi Nemba Nana Mama Juma Galamsey oh the UK 20 years in Tuntum Kran Kauda. Oh, got your business on Galamsey no sense you because
the own this is about to me creating Numa and Kopobenya
Numa. Also, Copanco, our football no match, a coin by your protecting you know. Like I'm saying, yeah, oh no, Uncle Jagan said, my man,
managing his own affairs, young Cofabroni. Yeah, I say yes, you young Cofabroni and Sunday as of Galamsey.
Yeah, no match, I quite a bone, so no buy. You better, I bet you won't see no buy. Because without that, no, Nippon, they're not concrete. On any in the vision for Obiano state benefit to Ghana. How would you must say, oh, welfare benefit, or Kosaya, Utifia, now buying Chiao Danka, a buy most Kadi, Nagana, you will be all. And the idea of Chianka Yakuman to him. And here is Zima or Momotisa area, and we're going to make them say, Miss Anne, may be sad, I know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
And the second, you know. Yeah, anyway, me mind in the Macano. Secondly, you know, or be back corruption. Corruption, you know, I'm saying about me trust of best of the digitalization, but because or not just a transfer scanner, you're gonna go through someone to someone, labeling will be a scan pioneer tracy. And if say also trust obey, but so what is your business or corrupt to her? You have to bring down the evidence. And yeah, easy. Both NDC and MPP. Now be no bet me because evidence now they court no way. And the corruption the information. I say social media because we are corrupt. Who need evidence be and I say what say will be can also hear they who can be. In the end they over back can there who can say election. Okay, me can say MPP be winning. And yes, me per se MPP win you, but government they not can and I'm a pen a can number. But MPP win to extend say Christians no you're united. Yes, you was south. Notness no united. What do I say? Baumia and a man MPP in your seats that were not. And as a Siano, Omwanga Sadi or Muni Papa says, yeah, the Omodimate in Arche. If the Mommy Papa said, Mumba president. Some percent Muni Pansa could mate the NS one. It did not necessarily no. Half backup by me and a half a comama. What I say? Now about Tiano Swa. I had the same thing. Lemono MPP BT and DC Kakrebi and your wide margin. Kakrebi. That's how I me huno. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's an I say, hey, Uncle Fabro from the number boy and I got saying the Angusiaga. Hey, Agapago say good evening.
If you good evening.
Who is leading?
If you sometimes I am about platform Nancy meetings in Libya. I don't know, but Papi say Papi Obeke says as someone can say what is the input?
On what channel you also share with it?
If you Galamsey with them, Galamsey. As I'm getting feedback, I don't know what else to hear from you.
Yeah, I think. Oh, hang on. I'm the Ofi Nana Sanaho. Yeah.
Yeah, and with that, Galamsey and Kwafruke. It's not news. And I'm one of those people. I believe that MPP had so much goodwill that if they had wanted to stop Galamsey, they could have stopped it. One way Galamsey is here. What is the motivation? If you want to say, man, what is their motivation?
I can't say for sure.
Obviously, most of them are jobless. They don't have jobs. We had a political party who campaigned on the back of one district, one factory. This Galamsey site, they are all in districts. So if MPP were a serious political party, or if this government were serious, they could have just curtailed Galamsey. The American, as I have been saying there, NDC, they were there. They were voted out of power. Your friend the Galamsey or once voted out of power. You have come. Make it better. You are issuing, you go on a license issuing spree. What is community mining? Did we need the community mining? What is the purpose of community mining?
Then why is NDC also saying that what about also be my community mining?
No, that's what I'm saying. In the first place, if you are not creating a community mining, all these things will not deteriorate to this level. Do you get it? Now, I will tell you, I want to then I'll regularize it. Right? So because it's there. Want to make it a move to say. There, I'll try to reduce the effects. Some of them catch on move to it's like, okay, I'm taking your livelihood from you because you give me the impression that it's your source of livelihood. The only way I'm going to make to say is if I come and I give you a job, or you're less stressful, or you're less dangerous. Obviously, one can say because them talk with boys say where I'm saying what the fact to be a baby swanner. One will be out check will be a 2,000 cities a month. Do you think of boys into our Galamsey because they know the effects of the Galamsey? One of what to go down because when you be there as a warrior, it affects their own health. But they are there because they don't have any source of livelihood. So yours is Waba. Let me give you a source of livelihood, and then automatically, ABJ. Now, say, if you balance obey now, now, Papa Ben also I'm saying, he baby and what you need to. They are talking about Abaze, a country woman, Abaze. No, country woman scammer. If you lose your job, they pay for it. When Ghanaians, if Ghanaians living abroad, what about platform them? Some of them I know maybe food because they don't also tell the people how they get those benefits.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, remember some kind of but it doesn't make sense. Why do you it's a and I'm coming one with scanned photos busy. Why? Because when you're fainting out to them, you work for it. We have what we call employment insurance. Once you are working, if you lose your job, they will pay you until you find a new one. Employment insurance, this is your own money. Finally, I personally don't believe that we use Galamsey that Waba. You know why? Because I think that the politicians, they're being smart. The major issues. No, Galamsey for how many are they? Do you get it? One dozen. Galamsey for Ghana. What is their population? I personally don't think they will use
it.
Exactly. You know it. Communication 101. You know it. If you know that's what's happening. Now nobody's talking about the dollar rate this year.
Me check what talk was 16. I think that the last time I checked.
Why would you 18 if you
what was 18?
Nobody, then all of a sudden, nobody's talking about dollar. Nobody's talking about economy. Everything is Galamsey. And the attention has been one of the protesters are release them. Listen, the main issue which is what to Abano. When you feel Galamsey, nobody cares. At this stage, Wapia, Ghana, one chiche, Want to check? Oh yeah, then elections will happen. I'm not one of the people who believe that they have to postpone the elections. No, election has to go on. But I wouldn't advocate that people should base their voting pattern on Galamsey, because that one is something that is there.
Okay.
Do you understand? It's something that is there.
There are bigger issues. That's
There are more important issues. When I say fine, or a very, very vital thing. I mean, it's a state of emergency. It's really, really bad. But the main core of it, there are bigger issues that have to take.
I agree with you. There is introduction again, and I've been saying it for a couple of months now. It's unemployment that is fueling the Galamsey. To solve the unemployment.
That is why somebody says it's coming to do 24-hour economy. Obviously on task. You see, it's not about it's
just want further and better particulates. Them a good for there. Free SHS. Everybody wanted further and better particulates. Where is the money coming from? What is the strategy? How would you do it? How sustainable is it? You see, those are legitimate questions.
They are legitimate questions. But then, if you give yourself the time, that, and I'm pretty sure you have access to the. I mean, you see, sometimes when you support some of these things, and not because of the party that we love, it's about solutions. Because if we have 24-hour economy, it's working effectively. And nobody will even think of going to do Galamsey.
Okay.
So stuff like this, we push it. But then Galamsey is a diversion that is keke.
No, opposition for also have allowed it, because it's they who want to work with the Galamsey anymore. So if it's diversionary, then they are fueling that diversionary status. Nana, answer. Good evening. What's the thing? Adum.
Kakra na meka esi me wadwuma meka kakra about Galamsey no. Yemi say won say mrante na won di Galamsey anim a why demonstration. Enyi fa no wofi. One, yama ya. Because say afag what to afag way, then afag for no way. And we no nya positions we didi bacha. Bisa ho CJ wo ba hefo na wodi anim. CJ no mo kuja tomu ne wonga ko manu bu amam na ene wo na wodidi bacha. Bisa ho say let my vote count one way. And a free ne OPK mun wonga ga don kuma de wanyan baby koi. Wonna wa kan bi and wonna wodidi wonye no ma. Na na makwa kwate se de Galamsey na demonstration na boys na didi mu de but wo use politicians na use mo when na position you say Oliver say no or your presidential staff also you who na John Dumelo mu didi mu when you be a position and ye Galamsey who can fight for obi ka just fight for Galamsey wo boa wonim Galamsey what's fight for Galamsey odo na mu ayefi no odo na Kole Lagoon na mu ayefi Kole Lagoon e wo ye ngani e wo nkrankuru mu ni baby so fight one ko Memphis one ko Nkrana so no ko fight wo me NDC vice president oko a Galamsey kwen na no ni gina won kecha yire ha no Galamsey sin no kecha yire no o Galamsey kwen
yes small scale mine so onye Galamsey
also popularization of a change of name the same thing whether small
now
scale
what evidence just Galamsey just only license but no kuta license
sister what the say the intensity of fire can never change the working of a chameleon. The intensity of fire. The Galamsey, you need small scale when I want to go no worry. The bestness when they say about no what then so them rabao. No peduma manipana why you crossing on. When you go when is what peduma no now you been duma as why you find rules in a way. Road be anko or tisum so wakutu when you be ready. What you crass on your demonstration? I watch now guys Mahama ba ube now a deputy minister. Ba umia ba ube na wo ye we nobody wech no wo bro no wa bi hu krana boys na the crime mobile. Obi the won eche we demonstrate. Onim the credential because of come let no ato nsia ma no di eche. What ye Galamsey na kasa campaigns mo. You say, yeah, then Yamin, what Pam as a central regional deputy minister. And yeah, then I shall wine, you say, what Galamsey from the bad? Or into your say, excavate and what the corner. I want time I need to another day. And for fans, what the call. When you be because when you Galamsey, when you demonstration, a crocodile, what the data are doing, When you know when you're position, only the enemy. What is the market on the wall? Not only the enemy, not Mahamamra and Winsumra. You should be this way.
In fact, my video crowd on it. My video was me. Okay, when I say, Massa, election year do not be a demonstration. I could do our pay you will be because people are just looking for positions.
The country was one of the best pressure group, and we are could just scaredy. We are could just scan would the boys need the etching. We are what Jim.
If you are the moment experience in Tino, my group, no.
Fix the count. What need the departure? This is the Ghana was this in politics, not even train us of you. You must have no soft with we be winning, with a baby win, with soft and Cassano. People who Ghana Yamana, they perceive who Ghana Yamana. Soft win.
I'm not right. I'm not to move. Wakasa.
What am I
having crowd until we are only on the politics and come I say, oh, good evening.
Good evening, Sophia. Conversation here very interesting. So you made mention of something that it resonates with what I wanted to say. Pressure group. You made reference to fixing the country or fix the country. Issue is said now, my study Ghana who said the only thing that shakes the government is organized labor. They are the only, like to some extent, I would say, independent body within the country. Almost a government. Demonstration does not really change the government. So I believe that if we want to effect any change from this time forward, people should find ways to work with the trade unions or the organized labor. Because Omoka strike, I look at recently, government, some kind of ultimatum or document, and look at Akufo-Addo has had a meeting with them. It means that Omoka said, hey, it does not matter the kind of stance that the government want to take. The government will have to come down. I guess at Ghana, the only thing we have, the chiefs have lost their power or their voice because they have also been involved in one way or other in politics. But the organized labor, I guess they are the most credible people we can trust in issues of this nature on Galamsey and other social and economic concerns. And yes, sir, we cannot really put pressure on the government for the government to be aligned. Like they got make us someone the true watchdog at this point in the country. So to be believing in stopping Galamsey, then he should go and support or he should be advocating for the stance of organized labor. That is where the conversation is happening. The president went to have conversation with the leaders of the organized labor. Because so I guess that is the point. If somebody believes stop here or any socio-economic issue must stop here, they should find ways and work with the leadership of the trade union or the organized labor. With that, there's no government that will come, whether MPP or NDC, that can really match their decisions boot for boot.
Okay.
And
but how
that is what
generally atmosphere now with just 61 days to elections. So do you think Galamsey or other issues so affect elections now? Who do you think is winning, is leading?
I think at this point, the way people are aligned to partisan politics and colors, it's difficult to really pick an issue for it to be a reason. And Ghanaians are also more acquainted to 8 years term. In 8 years, they are fed up with you. Whether you are doing well, you are not doing well. Some way, somehow, we have been conditioned to think in 8-year kind of changes. So it's not so much in the favor of MPP. MPP will have to up their game. It's not on the partisan, it's not on Galamsey. It is on the conditioning of Ghanaians. So if they want any change, I feel that at this point, MPP like this, they can tell Ghanaians and say, yes, they've brought the country this far, but they are the best people to really solve it at this point. Because Mahama wants to reset the economy. We are going to start again. But so I guess it's about the messaging at this time. If Baumia is able to message his campaign well, he can, because you see, one thing is, look at Biden and co in the US. you admit it, right? You admit it and you work with the people, you work with the nation, you mobilize the nation along. But you don't stand somewhere and feel that people are die-high fans. That is what might take NPP to opposition. Feel that, oh, there are people who support them. But NDC too, problem is that there's nothing special they are offering in reference to the alternatives organ. So the election might go on a runoff. Looking at where I said, it might go on a runoff. Yeah.
Okay. Everyone, my now as you say election do show my better runoff because 8 years so you have to get share team to go for jatum. To come good evening. Someone person kasa I say oh yeah no I send do mo camera and I don't know why. To come bacho kasa mame.
Family.
To come good evening. Someone person to come bacho oh platform no to bacho kasa.
Yeah, it's if you like I mean kaka met me I can say Galamsey any day. If you say Galamsey say you bit to me to Galamsey I say there. If you bad thing because Juma ni on my name. Na Juma on my be a Juma ni mono. They you to know ne sabe sum bia obeye because me name some teachers be like we UCC are still more now cry Galamsey ni because more employer what I say. Yeah.
Wow.
We UCC like that almost call that distance no man say no. Employer me. So baby na Galamsey ni because only any other option be I say Galamsey na no be kwa koye. But sanke juma o my ni mo Stevia because Galamsey Stevia that form sao din ye juma din. It you know say onipa no like or you to know your juma I mean yes standard that obey to me ya ne ho nchi bibria. I think say on konko yes Galamsey no near that na Galamsey no so I think say government no e bia be 40% of best stuff no but I am for no more upper hand say omo be to me I involve because land no issue land no e dey my man for
well anya for no issue land no issue land o Accra.
Sister Vie ka Galamsey asemo me would me fa baby to say ebia Eastern region hono baby na ebia enfa na say I don't know Eastern region ebia ebua kwa hono side no Sister Vie Galamsey obekọ no mututu zo no
okay omo need license okay
yes what I say you know say the onoyo ohin wo ono betu aka hey master fi we so dem ma munye Galamsey what I say obi enu wa Sister Vie obetu ne na ezo but omo nyina omo hwe eno omo ye but me to me for blame ni mom baby because ono nim say youth ni ni ejuma omo ye den omo ye it all to me go kan che ne my phone say hey mamu nkonko Galamsey no because ejuma ni ho say ejuma ni ho so Sister Vie akrono na ebeba what I say you know I think say Galamsey ni dey say a big issue say government bi amba be create jobs ama youth ni dia Galamsey dey say a bad thing say too bit me echa because I know
do you think that Galamsey ni bet me the aban opposition say na kokoko obi aye very concerned obi aye mhye no
Sister Vie Galamsey no enipa na ye ni sua you know I don't think say Galamsey ni be ma bet me involve much influence war election way mu on say and obi ga say who a political party now ba 8 years and now for who afno and you know this year no Sister Vie amount for adwin mu ebi saying first no about election so I say first no obi beka so me when this NDC nkwana me wo at times I am me friends because some MPP for near there they are no like MPP mu but you see nyina like I saw more reverse they are complaining say yeah so I think say it's Galamsey there no Stevia and I think the NDC baby I'm sure it is yeah
you guys say NDC were ahead election system brasa me mama good evening now where you know me feedback into na me lower way you know mama tell
Yo me that's any opportunity out there mama I say me ma show you so that now I'm interested in what topic no so share elections na ye be kona to me ne dey me who say NDC e were ahead or more ahead in the sense say NPP bar 2016 no they had the goodwill of the people inti obia supporti omo ema omo all the needed support and na also mutimi nya bia no omutimi nya e ohwe parliament and omo absolute majority but moment me and take good use of San Yamano Munya any na. Emma near man never was some implement free SHS, one district, one factory, Ninano, or moment me and to Tuni. And to going forward no into 2020, you could see say affect your votes because and that's why ni power no. Afei de eso starting say corruption charges on the ball NDC for nyina no. Afei ye hu de ekosi se mo prosecute you, se mo prosecute you 7 years on, 8 years going. Ye hu hwe. Eba say ma o credibility. Anase nsema o kafa opponent no ho no. E ma man for start doubt it. And now we are in information world. Information air cost na ye tin sem bebre. Kan no e bia be se otokro bi mu aka asem a obi ntimi improbe. Ba ne na asem a be kan bia ye be fact check o. Enti e man ye din say dia ugina so 2016 no be san akoso a dia ba 2024. Enti enyema se bi omo kafa former president Mahama hono. Bebre na no as time goes on nipa starting say na say mo ka say Mahama we yisin most mo buy as mo ye worse mo ka say economy no enye which is from dollar to cedi no na enenam ye fan say 4 cedi a say enenam 15 plus me kai say me ba krum ha no na me sisa me sika me sisa no that time £8 and I'm 20 and no crying the nam up so 20 into be all think critically no what nas will be no me wahano o se hanye o di ma free 3 4 akodru 15 o di ma free 8 akodru 20 dia na reading in between the lines you could see say you are not being candid to the people enti so in terms of economy no NPP ebenya issues although economy na affect nipa bebree or more affect or more businessman affecting more sine obi ono wo akura sabi onya tensi dia eso no bosome into no enka no but those affected by the economic situations no will vote against NPP so na ye Galamsey no so na obi besi okotrem korini mako emma aponcherene me ti hun ayi emfifiri yena sabi yenti Galamsey areas no yentina ho mammo a mutu Galamsey no monfa mo adifudi pe ene mo selfishness no emese yensuo nyina sometimes me twana me hwe videos I circulate around that yeah it's very disheartening say ensuo pa timi dane te say gata mpo ye te se nsusan a eteneko enti san so a fish betimi atenam fish intimi ntinam dia ya wo mu nso ne se empanyfo na no omo a na etu Galamsey no minim because na me close to ebi enti minim say aban na no seda emma ne nkrofo concession from top to down omo seda twitwa wo kodi hanom o die nie we die nie we die nie because ye kwa Galamsey no they know say almost that kofa any bia na corruption charges by bebo enti ene Galamsey ukotu dia ye free so ase eko enti now na de to me no NPP omuntimi and break the 8 no ebeye den amomo especially with Baumia almost say you know you're part of government na on sign admit it and he said the wa failing no and also a factor na me President Akufo-Addo anka mesake no the reason being that me no na ye adwuma yeah anka mesake no the moment or distancing who free me ho na no that time na was in fire no because I brought you in to help me with the economy but say no oh no so a digital man what free economy now you don't discuss the economy again. 2 ose me de maye ni nyina no ene de you are a man on your own meaning what you help me to achieve no anya papa amwa nti oba won so the new niema na ebeba
okay
yes
Okay.
Meka say ya wade, but ye wo hwa na Baumia sebi Vice President Baumia. Eba is mo edi new changes about port. Any no, and they say nipa bebre outside omunya nkombe investment back home. Ombe shipuni ma akofie. But when you take duty na ya asem. O say ma mentina me ba bi nwene me ho. Na the more so a mo work outside ne de nyeme ba kru ni mu no. E na adwuma eba. E na mo ton
And our
cash
revenue
mutimi
can come
aton.
back.
Yes, revenue so wunya bi. Na wo a ade na wo ton no. Wo ton 1 cedi. Na utimi ton 10. Nipa 10 beto a wonya wo 10 cedis. And is all beton ba ko 10 cedi. Na e beda ho bosome. Na wunya amanfo meton de he na ye.
Okay. Mama na Samuel, I think o point they say to me break it the because of Sanyama we are listing in no. It's already staring them in the face say almost failing.
Yeah.
Mama na say.
Rinkato
also what anything.
Hello.
You too.
I thought okay, good.
Yeah, to come.
Me kasante pi. Me feel say both NPP and this now I'm neck to neck, right? I don't at this point it's too close to give a call. Say I mean NDC is slightly leading, right? But it's not a comfortable lead as usual, right? Like they'll say. I think say it could go anyway. A tie at this moment. Or mistake can lead you to lose or win, right? At this point, no. But kakra me kafa Galamsey no. I really think say what goes into it is a matter of I think political opulence, right? To say millions of dollars, no yisika, no your way, no also or your politician, right? And man nipa needs selflessness, no. To ya dear cross that's all omudi obi edibi. Obi maminko dibi. Do beti bia impanyifo ni di na impanyifo ni di most of these communist states no you corrupt you become because it trickle into the very core of their existence. Do you nipa no saying you are as I then go here a man for good or mood to maybe to be an idea. Every time about but Tibiano a year impanyifo ni intention so and none of me feels is the core. It's a very deep say or mobile to us here, and as mobile to me abrenas a bed because Nipano me check documentary be. I can say also quick crisis to say Kusia has or a number of coaching Kusia, say Galamsey, Oko Tuba, no, or Timichi Bomuni idea. Okay, so look at all these things, right? Now, no, so many more be.
Yeah.
A monument. Oh, Timmy, there. No, you're making off 200 cedis or 300 cedis a day. Excavator driver, I'll say you're making 800 cedis a day. Oh, my age, oh, yeah. You see, Oman be at this time. And I'm very empowered. It's true in your mama one. And I bet a whole industry, even a man no service, a man, Danta Fonso to coho. It's a big industry. Oko takwechona, they are not a for main body, but like these West African countries for money go. So
yeah, now some got Nigeria for me now, but
yes.
Since Galamsey for some other things, yeah.
Yes, Sika Munsem, it's the same like Congo war, civil war, Sika war at the end. Now, Bia, Sebi, or you crossing your own machine, affidavit, we not 200, 300 cities a day. All of a sudden, Ubo Untimi, you see, and the main thing I make is the opulence of our politicians. You see, now I say, we or yeah, dear, Sika, we took what you're saying. People like, only drop in my country, no, only drop. That's what I'm saying, and I think. There will be $40 million. And I could and you all this casa no obi ya and fan hokra see obi deep into so the say na na yede na hwe ti odoni ni ho say because obi feel say impanyifo no obi aka impanyifo no di sika bu diske ame hk bi abeko bia no no moka wo de hwe ayi na say I say the say asante be to yare Now share the comments. Okay, so it's literally becoming like every desperate and poor man behind in quote, feels the miss, is as a result of the rich or as a result of the leaders, right? And the NS advance of civil war near the bar, they go straight to the penny.
Yeah. But every day, that always doesn't solve the problem, because
that doesn't solve the problem.
As much as a pennyphone can, yeah, so you can hold a pennyphone, yes, I know.
So
we put them there.
Me too.
Me patch say, yeah, can we have 2 more cuts now?
Yes. So no. So we were in school with people like people are in school with ya. Oh, okay, test contain president. Buhunina we kuku dine bean. Now yes, I channel 3 a topic up near $1 million. And what it is sad now? Who saying you know ya? I know ya.
Okay.
You see,
I'm getting the point. Before resentment,
before and open your hair, so be you get it. That's the bottom line. If we top, your musu buying your money and not we are see they say no, be and found you be see na you see the beard in watching. And I know people, but down for be or say Charlie, Miss Medem Wajimu, Galamsey no yebi. Not too good, or say that you're no one can cough field. Or no, in Penifoni yebi, no, there, or not in a hosa. You see,
Brian Gato, that was it. I think your point is well noted, say true. Bibi ne quarter to Bibi back. And the point you were raising is some Siman so the message about supporting say very soon Ghana better need to say Congo and people will go from pennyphone. But you see, when you make comment like this, I catch them say Mungo is unim. And pennyphone now catch a bed the Congo, and half of them are you know more in Ghana. Until you may get them, but the Abusia phone is secure. The question is where how Ghana is Congo. Every day they are the people who die are the ordinary people, not in pennyphone. Every day from Liberia to Rwanda to Cote d'Ivoire, the people who die are not in pennyphone. Omuno Bia or passport standby. Don't forget Omuno kuta diplomatic passports. Good evening.
Good evening, Vim lady. We did say I'm
Adumara kwa waswe.
Election there, I got 2 months, nature say. I do. But most of the youth, on my dream, any might be so. Now, every day, every time, every 4 years, we have been doing same mistake. I think I have to address this point. NPP and NDC, these 2 political parties, it have been decades. We have been trying them. But still, upon all the natural resources, Ghana, but still, Oko contribute to say these Arab countries here, Nancy, more developing, Dubai, Qatar, Kuwait, more desert so. Who they are there, Krampaji say. So, Obes who they are there, just Utu Amana, Uji and Riano desert in our country. And also crime, if free outside answer, not me their name. And secondly, a beer and I say, in beer, Dubai, Qatar, Kuwait, Biano. It is planted, Omadi in so. Omadi in so na fasi. I'm talking.
The last time I was there, no sea water, no catching salt, no more water.
So, just imagine the amount of water, air water, grasses, in Dubai, Qatar, Kuwait, every day. But Ghana, where the Galamsey, but Galamsey, of course, I stand for the new force. Because who compare any policy now? I check it, Singapore, on manifesto, Tamomunya independence. On manifesto na Dubai, omo fire, omo de build on my. It took Dubai, Abu Dhabi, omo baby a friend, Rim Island. Ohesta mo develop na omo dan bi miensa ba ko to aso uko same Singapore ho omo ye den copy and paste na omo do my ideology den kan ba Ghana Dubai mo ni bibia o only oil e pe no mo wo awia timi bo 52 degrees ni Ghana ni a abrofo no e ba ya mba be colonizing Omudru ye chrome was anom, omutu ye Gold Coast, meaning you will go down much as say, omukrampo no modri homontiasi, but over decades because of MPP NDC. And I want to know youth no motion and so say MPP was what NDC a kron NDC baswa MPP akoya kron. And you know you turn the left right say see atama Mahama was yes Mahama nye your friend papa no any president na Akufo-Addo nana Dubai na Mahama akoya kron yes anko fa Mahama ba same thing be happen it akwa to say o car and what car battery mienu what the car battery ba kusika no so o spark pepe na dum o ko fa another car battery ba o spark no yesu tu kana na dum e no be free nchen e the China battery bro say the China battery ni fasika no so ni fast park e bia betima ya adwuma almost started complaining we China battery ya try NDC ya try MPP over 32 years na kwame bedi akon odi ni manifesto be to once obi antimi kan hwe e ade a me say yatima we still 32 years ni antimi try nana kwame bedi akon for 4 years Ghana we are sick
until both center we am don be NDC MPP na at least then
trying for 4 years ni enhwe oba no antimi anya bibia na ehu so cause yatima we still 32 years
master pronounce them so the pobeko man na man for start so mo doubt in say bra
Mitie guy odidi atamu America or the same cry Chinu Jonas also o muntimi fa enye so okwa tamopo no oba ebi as minyo number me send one video ufri Abu Dhabi no call Yas Islander
Dubai for aye no but say oye dey here ansa na dey doc no cry turn 5 cedi bank machine cry timi na bi o Ghana nti ade na obetwempo akọ ayi when we be a public debt that it is Gabe and the I think that is why people are raising those questions. Say Yenibi. It's any basic one.
You know, there is always a message in Cheddar's message. We have to address and see beyond. Ne plan no, and yes, be a buy na first year na no the pono or the pono echo or 10 years manifesto plan. And ebia that 10 years no be do no. Then the plans ni na are good. Industries know how Ghana e develop it. It's nebia no the kokos ne hwe duty. Dubai has enom. Oko Dubai, Oko Kuwait, Singapore.
I think that the questions now for raising about him no are still relevant. Say, what is it going to do? Where solution bang? Because President Kufuor saw ya Buankra, no anya ponodiko. Train cra to Buankra inland port. Kumasi comment in here. It is one fixing the basic thing. We haven't been able to do. Kumasi Accra, Kumasi a dual carriage to me. So the question still remains, and yet 10 years, because we don't have 10 years. Or 4 years.
Okay, Vim lady me be so. Who are so 4 years, maximum 8 years. But Osha Rwanda, Obanut me deliver. For example, once each other saw bar or the
a trillion.
Yeah, also about
IMF. So until all those questions. There's no money in Ghana.
There's no money in Ghana. There is money in Ghana, but there is money in Ghana. On the another kind, I say, yet is castle as a comedy, and the Koto map, the Koto Obama. And there's Ghana better so. Apple two say fish pond was the dance of the BBC Cathedral. One when you just say, I have bro no mudi or mine. I have bro, from Abu Dhabi to Dubai, and more than 20 years old. But still, a 6 lanes, about 6 lanes. Kumasi to Accra, a most until there be accident basic. And also, Obabe dredge sea or dredge and see artificial, biggest artificial lake. Oh, we are a water lake, and no crown potty pencil. And a Kwame Nkrumah there, certainly technology, and was about a possible. And no yes, I almost register in Sona.
I want to move on answer. Mumma, a basic one on Marco Cassiano. Mumma, a basic one. What's that? You are bread and butter issues. You are crack, Masiania, Yenisika. Yeah, because you was can't get what you was saying IMF. None
You was the
billion per IMF. There is no argument. Opening the fact is that your public debt is 700 and something billion. You nisika. Into the catch will be after the Bepo Kumasi. I mean, when I'm right off. That's the number one red flag. You can't do it. There's no money to do that. In fact, you was that is a bogus project to do that. When Banche, you to mean the Banche, you cram more over 200 million of a more you cry garlic. They say insure cry, you cry insure 11 million. That last time I checked it, $11 million worth of spring water from Spain. You cry Jane from Burkina, in toast from Burkina. You fix those basic ones first. Next, you can't hear the cockrane my banner at so. And some that be a do Dubai mo level no. Yeah, you say Apple.
Yeah, and only the plans, and only can be vision.
Because tourism, yeah, who can Dubai? You bet me the boat, yeah, so from Jamestown to Cape Coast to Adan to Tema. Even Uncle Foy, a farm motorway, so a kunkum accident kumkof. Yeah, the yacht cry boat a siswa, a fan of Tema, cram or Muko. That is half of the transportation issue solved. But no boy, and found once what the cook must say of any. The cost of even drilling a polo. What in a home? Yeah, say a West Africa gas pipeline project. Only my car.
Well, 1 minute. No, can be say ska new mining, but I bro. Upon some day, infant on twinch. And yes, if you are back for years, now obey you. And no can vision. But no can be business can new mining. Then me take Canada, Japan. How can say? We say about me, say like MPP government, no more than 800 million. They say just only form. Neighbor, meaning no you was but abroad no mudi on mine. But still, Obiba Kotoma MPP. Still, Obiba Kotoma NDC. Still, a Juma new mining. And number person who say MPP NDC. At least, okay, I try for 32 years. It's say I try another thing.
Okay.
But that's it.
I mean, I say no. I think the point on the NDC and MPP are disappointed over the years. Oh my, the only claims on Bay, so try somebody else. I think any bonnet try be before. Now, who say Nipan Yana now than who are that day now? I'll be my mama a aquaba.
Yo, Stephia, good evening.
Good evening.
Yana Ara, who say we the Ghanaians, Yenim said ye suit any about here. Especially a cry to Quabetina Bucci, we think say, I say, a babu chinky, in Yansa so moment to Ghana. Uchi commenter, oh, me call Ghana, no more board. They live there by plan. America and answer Bucci, and we live by plan. Aha, Black Americans no, page man. Because I had a chronomai and I said, what won't you Jumakasi and all the benefits? What would you Juma part your two tax open down cry high crana and ye easy? Galamsey no more cano. Ghanaians nan Kasanka said to me for video phone Germany. Nana Kufuado, I said, the classmate. I said,
in fact, me a video ni back. I see you too, and I'm saying, I can't tell you, and I'm
yes, I got it to a Kufuado, no. It's me, say, you bet too, oh, Bakra, you bet too. Just like you can see some comment coming out from a Ghanaian. I'm so blessed to say, I'm not sad this generation on my banner.
Yes, I say, I say, you know.
What you say more kind was yes, say
baby, I shall not then oh you may
and it is yet now and I see a passing comment say, oh, and the soldier phone take you over, and the soldier phone take you over. Massa, people talk as if say, I said taking over, no, and you just some portion of people, as you already said, no. And penny no more diplomatic passport. Omoma wa brutri. Any bebre ma ye adwuma bebre ma ko school. Asat ye beto aba no mo chichi omo tikiti ni na wi. Ye 2 year ya on the 9th. Omo kun say gidigidi a place omo ko. What about you? It's why do you call for war?
And I hear Kromanano, a crab, if you market on the wall. Every country and every society, I'm a patch here, you may be and consult that. But yeah, Krogana, no. Me and choose is here, my cody bonny and chimney, no cock seminar nachi. Oh, Nana, two for bunny, Nana, made not yet patch out. Yet think of where I see and ya or me. Eh, Ghana for cook for the any pumponini and yano. It's never the parameters can be county. You bet not who's in yano. I don't know, say, who be let you more, media. Me bomb says, Diana, Empire Yebo, oh, shut Ghana, so the whole world. And as Africa, I mean, Casa Ghana. I saw it also saying, Bibi Ghana, a Jumabia. So, Bonin does see Bibia. Omo to Galamsey United, sorry. I saw for one more. Yes, a politician, Kufu the to Galamsey. Kufu Galamsey, go ahead. A Kufu or two, let's say Kufu the two Galamsey. What wounds will now walk us and be a number? A dear was a catching up. Why say young young crop for Moti Ghana? Me fear such is buying. I want me be brave. Then you probably 5 and I'm sure more secondary school. Even fear such as by crime. No movies in young my games say which you almost that's a fear such as yes says and some of my almost says say you. Steffi, I'm telling you, say Ghana. No be a controller, we bet me and more caps, 3 caps. And your bottle 3 caps, no kusia 3. Once a year Africa, you charge me and some years. Maybe one gun numb. I'm the more 3 caps. Sadi 3 caps, 3 Sadi no kusia 3 account or say to mum. Oh, my trauma, I'm poor trauma. Or you say, it's not a morning best Saturday now. It's over 12 years. Then you pan was young on the campaign, and you expect to say, hey, Panomas can free. Obey you. So, almost this can buy and reject is a corner for you. You are 1 year, you be 2. There will learn sense. Young penny, and your team did ye. I just many your shade. Or some you may find in my 4 years in 1 year, me 2 million cocoa to be 2. I'm saying, say, and based on Galamsey, and you're never trouble because you're general. And I'm saying, you think I need to say, yes, no. And you're not the baby, dear. It is a agony, yes, and no never take it, center say, dear, and you're wrong. They will still win the election. And I think, say, Baumia is doing kind of well as in the campaign, young momentum, kakanka. But NDC for us, or my more kakra, but whatever it is, no, and Pioneer will say, whoever wins the elections, no, as we be my Ghana, see, beat me a call, beat me a book, because all the same, you're for I will never ever subscribe to any war. Any vampire won't tell me, you need to use your phone to say, okay, to one work of you. Politicians, you catch yourself called ban home by or bois, or no, I'll pay you, man. You tell Naya, Onimu. If you're okay, I was always wagon. Omotuaban obi ofi tamale on tip akra ho on tip kwase oba ya on na hwe o se obobo o hwe ni maame o hwe ni papa o hwe ni nia o school ye be cha ni nai we say NDC no obedi a chire ma e cha na o ma abusiafo you be on your own
abay aye to no nanu ya nipa 8 na efiri mu besi ne ye ni case nwie.
Yes, so why do you want to involve yourself emma obi as a citizen, as a normal citizen, go and vote and go home. Let the obesity and hair. The obey you praise and make a high America high. The obey be a members for Makoto, Democrat Makoto, hey. The obey wave never vote. Them here is a peace, Messiah no Pama Quajima, make maybe about maybe peace. Because all my man. The peace I need, the mess me Ghana for say, I am mass with Yankotia Banema Telefias, Stefia, Yamin Count no new year.
Me that's the baby, that's I'll say no to me join here, no cano, a piece, no. Ghana for never the minute say, I dream money. Oh, say, Manti or Mumma in your 20s, no. Who was a Kufa now, you so no,
Barine, wait to have a shit. Who's Walla Casa? We say Sabo was a Sakwa Locato because never one yet. Excavate and something bill and Omcoto, she and Ominous can go to Chairman. Now we were then ya bay. Oh, you my eye. Yes, say,
Galamsey, no, nothing say.
I say, Sue, as I say, you.
Well, see, say, as I say, since you are saying, yeah. Onim so no answer say. And I agree with Alvin and say a politician need this Cabrewa reject it. They are continuing to do whatever Galamsey or they are continuing so that me about the bribe him. Reject it. Next time oba no anye na adwuma said you can so be na no what wetia no. Abusa for first year am say na mo nyina mate say na mo join on jaso dwumedie say de brem no yakopon ya adoma next week ye dey another program be brem. Ye friend me vim lady. Nene mini production team ne Mr. Kojo Hansen ni DOP e di bedi akonom ne ade ne ye nyina ye di program na bro because and the issues not dawson but the Dr. Prempe kan you know aka 60 days I think 61 days to election. Decide for yourself and decide the obeto man the obeto man ni bia no now I will say your future and it's on the line no. This is your future we're talking about Pentecost elder no can answer me say benifona aba no nti mo hwe the o man no koso no mo hwe ana abusa mama na mo nyina ma say High Life Radio wo fa ya ni team 19th October so mo ye High Life party kese pa High Life dinner dance kete dinner dance you know ubetimi abejo na Migacho FM ne Nasfa Radio and Kings Jersey Radio na ye da mo nyina ma say mo pick the ma call baby ama
Good evening. All of us who desire to have good name, you need to serve humanity. People live and work for the good of people. Maybe I should turn here and look at the face of my parliamentarians. You are making democracy too expensive.
Yeah, man. Yeah, best yeah.
Oh.
The monetization of what we call democracy is dangerous. Soon, we are not going to have good leaders because we will need people who have cash. And it doesn't matter where they got the money from. They will win the constituency election. Now, this thing is dangerous. If we think that we cannot follow this American democracy, please let us stop it. Let us design something that will help this nation. It is dangerous, and I'm even afraid of the future. I'm afraid.